That's fun. Ke tuar dia sanduka hati area. Ki muntawi shitu hasinante tu atu harta pearata bikur te pasienda tadi kere. Lutar da manso hukuru ke fekesh nya sata yete te pantana. Hi Ginger, I'm so happy to see you. It feels like forever. Ashley jumped in. I think that's what shows that, right? Hi Ashley, hi Ricky, hi Nelly. Good to see y'all. How are y'all feeling tonight? Hi Patty. Hey, good to see you, sis. Been a hot minute. Hi Neurospicy Sage. I love that username, and thank you so much for subscribing. It means a lot. Thank you. Happy Friday, everyone, or maybe Saturday, depending on where you're at in the planet. Hi, Angel Power. Yeah, Nelly says, my ears are on fire, heavy ear activations. Yeah, there's some interesting stuff moving through. Hi, Prince Bubblegum. Thank you so much for subscribing. Hey, Saloa. You told me you're going to send me a voice to tell me how to pronounce it. It's good to see you, sis, and thank you for subscribing. Hi, Helen. Hi, sis. How are you feeling? How are things? You know what I'm talking about. You say, to say the least, no doubt, right, Ash? I love you so much. Thank you for showing up and being here, being part of the group frequency. Hi, Emma. What's cracking? I'm going to go do it today? Okay. You need to. All right. Yeah, how's everybody feeling? What's new? What's new in the world of you? Hey, Octagonatron, I love that. Yo. Hi from Australia. So it's probably Saturday where you're at. So it's Saturday day lights. Hi, Ash. Hi, sweet girl. Saw your cast with Blonde Blue was great. Oh, yeah, Blue Bodie. Oh, you're new over here. Beautiful. If you'd like to contact myself, you can go to the link in my bio, and there's a way to send me a direct message. So actually, TikTok allows you to send a message now if you put it on. So you can actually just send me a message through TikTok. Hi from Washington State. Well, I'm near Mount Vernon. Actually, technically a little town called Cedar Woolley. I mean, sure, you know of Cedar Woolley, I'm sure. It's a funny sounding city, and if you're in Washington State, you probably heard of us at some point. If we all realized we were the same at the same time, what would happen? Great question, Emma. That's something to ponder on, right? Ascension symptoms are insane. Lots of going on for sure. Collective level it's been pretty crazy. Feeling much better. Finally feeling better. Good. Portland, all right. What's up? North Carolina. Hi from Kansas. Hi from Anacortes. It's beautiful. Local. I think we've spoken, haven't we? I believe we have. At least your frequency feels familiar. The Green Comet. Yeah, I've heard. I couldn't see it. It's really windy where I'm at today. So and cloudy and stuff. I wish I could have seen it. Hi from Louisiana, beautiful. Hi, Christina. From Alaska, hello, Etheric Mycelium. Oh, beautiful name. Just thinking about me earlier. Oh, awesome. I would pop up. Thanks, Crystal Hunter. Greetings. All right. You started light language. Congratulations. Welcome home, Prince Bubblegum. You saw about an hour ago, you saw the Green Comet. Awesome, cool. Does anybody tune into that Green Comet? Do you get anything from it? Because comets are really, I know that they have a lot of spiritual significance. I honestly don't remember. I don't know why I've forgotten the significance of most comets. I don't know why I don't want it. The ocean don't Salem Mass. Awesome. Sorry. Oh, hi, Karen. I was like, why does that, your energy feels familiar. Hi, Karen. How are you feeling? Been able to speak light language since I was 8. Awesome, Danny. Well, you're right at home then. Right at home. Been living all 50 years. Light language since I was 8. Awesome, Danny. Well, you're right at home then. Right at home. Been living all 50 years. Well, you're right at home then. Right at home. Been living all 50 years. And right at home. Been living all 50 years. In Washington, all 50 years. I'm in the Hood Canal. Awesome. Awesome. Cool. So, let's see what. I just want to read this real quick. Ginger said, I think it tried to rip my heart chakra out is all. What? In a good way or a bad way? I mean, the energy center. So one thing we'll touch on just because you just mentioned heart chakra and it's something that I'm going to be it's relevant. So this is something I haven't really talked too much about, but I've been holding off on merging my energy centers. So the way that I perceive the idea of chakras, call them what you want, energy centers, is they're essentially like an interface, right? They're like a fourth dimensional interface and how we interface with pranic energy or different frequency ranges. They're essentially frequency filters. They filter different frequency ranges, right? So the root at the base would be filtering lower frequencies and it goes higher and higher. So, and the problem is that we get things jammed up quite a bit in them because they're kind of like this. They're like a cone, and they got a little skinny part on the bottom, and that's where we get a bunch of stuff jammed up in there. So what we're moving into now is different systems, right? So just like a computer system, like your computer software, we're upgrading our interfaces. We're upgrading the operating system. We're upgrading the servers. In this analogy, there's a lot of things that we're upgrading, and upgrading our interfaces is where we're heading. So I was into this idea earlier, way back when, where I was considering merging my energy centers just into my heart space. So it's just really all you truly need is just one big old heart energy center. But what I've found is that it's really helpful to have access to these energy centers, these interfaces, when you're doing something like what I do, because it's a way to interface with others similarly. So it's when you're working with activations and you're working with these different energy systems, it can be helpful to have that system going on. But I'm getting the push that it's like, okay, it's time to merge them into the heart space. And then we have, doesn't mean that we're not interfacing with energies the same way. So we have these transmission centers, we'll call them. And it's just a little bit different system where we're still getting information from the cosmos and stuff. But that's something that we can, talk some more about, but that's what I've been working on. So it's something that you do slowly. You work on these energy centers, you just kind of expand them up until they start to kind of merge together and into the heart space. Especially as we're upgrading into our if you want to call it 5D bodies and above. So it's going from a cone shape to another shape? Not necessarily. So it's we're moving into different systems. So it's not that. So the way that I do it is by opening them up. So instead of them being like a cone, the way to merge them is to start to expand them. So make them a bit more like cylinders, and then you do that slowly, and you slowly move this up into your heart space from the lower ones and down from the upper ones into the heart space. And it's a slow process. You do this daily, and you work on it daily. Not everybody is I wouldn't recommend it for everybody, but it's just something to mention, because that's something I'm doing. I don't know. Hi, Rising Rose. Hi, man, it's really windy, so wait, I'm on a phone, so I should be good. My light goes out, the power goes out, but my phone should still be good. I shouldn't lose you. Good evening, Debbie. How's everybody feeling? Cool. So let's see. We can just jump into some magic. We can just share some energy, sling some love codes. Thank you for subscribing, Etheric Mycelium. That's a great way to show support. Yeah, I've been wanting to come on more, but I've been busy, man. I've been trying to catch up on 3D life. I've been really working hard to get, just a lot of the things that I haven't been able to do because I was gone for so long. When I'm out for so long, it's a long time to to not do anything. So there's a lot of catching up that I've been doing, but I need to jump on more. And here I am. I gotta make sure I'm feeling well too, right? Because that makes a difference. I gotta make sure that I'm clear and if I'm gonna be sharing anything with y'all. So and that's something we're all working on, right? So let's do it. Let's sling some magic. I'm just gonna have just a general transmission that comes through first for everyone. The first thing I want to do, if you're open to this idea, is establish a 12D shield. So just put a cylinder of diamond platinum white light that's going to rise up through and around you in order just to help hold space for us to make sure that we are, again, so if you're open to that idea, what we're going to do is we're going to move a 6-pointed star. So we're going to a Merkaba structure from the pineal gland. We're going to move that down gently, down through the neck, and the high heart, through the heart, the solar plexus, sacral root. It's going to go between the legs, between the feet, and you can just accept with your intention. You don't have to do this at all. And then we're going to go all the way into the center of the earth. And we're going to connect with the heart of this beautiful planet that we're standing on, we're sitting on, laying on. So we're staying connected to her heart, and we're just going to give her some love. We're just going to say thank you, because as we give her love, we're giving everybody love on this beautiful planet. We're like little cells as part of this big, beautiful organism. So we're saying thank you, we love you. Try to put some happy thoughts in it, some joy, peace, unity consciousness. And then we're going to move that Merkaba structure up through the rocks and the minerals, moving all the way back up, but it's going to stop about a foot below our feet. And it's going to stop there, and it's going to spin up, and it'll eject, and it will eject a platform. This platform is wide enough around, if you were to extend your arms, it wouldn't quite touch the sides of it, right? And it's going to emit a diamond platinum white light that's going to rise up through and around you, your feet and legs, arms and hands, through the torso, the neck and head. It's going to rise up past the head. It's going to stop like about a meter above the head or so. And then we're going to take that 6-pointed star from the bottom platform, and we're going to move it up through your Hara line. So up through your pranic tube, it houses the energy centers. It's going to move up through all those energy centers and go to the top, about that meter in height above the head. And then it's going to spin up and eject another platform that's going to vacuum seal us into this pillar, this cylinder of goodiness. And as we're here, we're going to connect directly to Source, just with our intentions. This is all happening within our hearts, by the way. So even though we are having the experience of stuff coming through into us, it's as above, so below. It's actually coming from within us. So don't worry about the physical space. If you're lying flat, it doesn't make a difference. It's not, you don't have to worry about where it's coming from. We're connecting directly to Source. Source is flowing down through the top of this cylinder of light and down through our energy centers into our heart space. And then it's going to continue down through a little connection into that bottom platform. And then these beautiful pastel colors, high vibrational colors, high frequency colors, are going to be filling up this cylinder. It's going to be swirling around us, what we would call aurora frequencies. It's going to rise up through and around us and fill up the cylinder. And then we're just going to place our awareness in our heart space. Place your awareness in the center of your chest. Just imagine just a diamond light star, just a star with diamond light just beginning to emit from your chest. It starts small and grows bigger and bigger, bigger and bigger until it fills your whole chest. And then it's going to extend out from your chest, right? So it's going to continue to fill the entire space and fill this entire cylinder and fill your entire room. You can fill your entire block wherever you're at. The light's just going to continue to expand. You can go as far as you want. You can go through your city, through the state that you're in, the country. It can keep extending itself. be around the planet. You can extend it, go as far as you want. You can extend it past the planet and feel what that feels like. I encourage you just to just feel into your heart space. Si asura tafe kurkam puerta si sheta ki kresi wa turta fe fetimbo atarta sina. Jidu tafe santu kareshen. And then I'm just going to set the intention here, just a very clear intention that throughout all of tonight, no matter what is said, no matter what is done, there will be no harm done to anyone or anything. No energy will be taken that is not freely given out of love. So if it's not just given freely out of love, it will not be accepted or taken. And it will be in alignment for the highest good of all only. And only those that are meant to receive what is right for them will receive it. So what is meant for them is all that they will receive. If things are not meant for the individual, the recipient, then they will not receive it. Now, if you're open to this idea, I would like to offer you a free healing. So this says a bunch of things. It's going to be unique for each person. That's what makes this really beautiful and powerful. So for those that can tune in, I highly recommend to tune in. Don't worry about watching me or anything. Just feel whatever way that you tune in. It's going to assist in clearing in a number of different ways. Hi, Sammy. It's going to assist in clearing. So this is going to work with like your meridians. It'll help clear things out. There's a whole bunch of stuff. So it's unique for each person. What is right for you is what's going to be facilitated. So again, I recommend to tune in. You don't have to accept this by any means. So what I'm going to be doing is, if you are accepting this, I'm going to be placing my left hand on the back of your head and my index finger and middle finger on your forehead. Now I want you to bring your awareness to anything that you would like extra healing to go towards. So if you have something emotional going on that you would like some healing towards the root cause of it, bring that up in your awareness. If there's something physical that you have going on, bring that up in your awareness. Feel that area as much as you possibly can. Lean into it. And if it's mental, bring it up. Just set the intention. Use your imagination. Be part of the process, and this will assist, okay? So I am going to just trigger this real quick. So just relax. Feel your body. If you're new to this stuff, just become hyper aware to any sensations that might be happening in your body. If you don't feel anything, that doesn't mean you're not receiving. If you are intending to receive, it took me a while before I started to feel energy very tangibly. Awesome. Cool. So this is going to assist with anything else that we do today. So it's just going to be a supplement to any other work that comes through, any other play that comes through. We take it too seriously. Yeah, so what did you experience? Did you experience anything? If you didn't have a feeling, that's totally cool. If you didn't see anything, that's okay. I don't see things. I usually feel things very physically, but I would love to hear feedback on what you experienced, especially those that tuned in. I would love to hear what came through for you. And we'll let some comments come through real quick, and then we'll do a transmission of some light linguistics, light language transmission. A lot of releasing in my chest. Yeah, we're working a lot with the heart there, pressure in my chest like someone was sitting on me. Yeah, it's your heart energy center really trying to open up. Lean into it. Left side being heavily activated. Beautiful light and free. Throat release, pop in my ears. I feel it intense. I heard and saw my voice in the universe. Beautiful. I felt a meow from deep within. I love it. Light behind my closed eyes was aqua. Beautiful. Head tingles. Yeah, language. Releasing in the upper body. I felt a touch on 2 spots in my back and a huge yawn when you stop. Beautiful, Patty. Yeah, gotta let that release. Beautiful release. Just tuned in. What did I miss? We just did a supplementing, clearing, healing type thing. Tightness in my throat. Etheric net repair, solar plexus burning. Beautiful. Taki, thank you, Ashley. I was walking down my hallway and had to stop and lean on the wall as the frequencies increased. Yeah, I should mention, yeah, sometimes it can be a little intense, so maybe make sure you're sitting down. I forget to warn people about those type of things, you know. If you're driving, watch out. Who knows how you react to some of these energies? This is a more gentle approach. Thank you, David. My voice was speaking to you, no idea what it was saying. Gotcha. You look different. You took on different appearance in my head. Yes. What you might notice is I bounce around. So I change between many different aesthetics. I show up very differently. But you'll recognize my energy. So sometimes, for people that know me, they'll see me come in as all sorts of different things, or lots of different versions of me. They call me Tampu Ump, which is many man, or man of many. It's kind of one of my gifts, I guess. I don't know if you don't call it a gift. He says vacuuming. So I was vacuuming my living room. Thank you, Amor. I'm vacuuming my living room floor, and I had to sit on the couch for a minute. I don't think I felt anything. However, I love your personality, and I share love everyone here. Beautiful. Thank you, Jail. Yeah. So, eventually, I've had a lot of people express that they don't feel the energy initially, but they keep coming back to the lives, and a lot of them will be like, now I feel energy. Now I feel energy. Or now I'm speaking light language. So don't let it bum you out. For a bit, I was kind of bummed out because I wasn't having all the experiences that other people were when they were doing energy work and stuff. But then down the line, I recognized, okay, wait, I'm a little bit different. And some of those things are kind of like what makes us special, right? So you may start to feel things. You may have a different way of interfacing with energy completely. Am I going to do another one? Absolutely, Sabrina. So that was kind of just a trigger. So I haven't even slung my magic yet. So we're going to do that here in a second. I just wanted to get some feedback. What language are you speaking? And how did you learn it? So it's an unstructured language. We call it light language. So it's not processed the same way languages like English are. It's unstructured. It affects energetic structures. So, like English is really processed in the left hemisphere of the brain, which is the side that needs to understand things, right? It needs to break things down, put things in boxes. It needs that structure. This is more felt. It's more received by the heart, truly. But also by the right hemisphere of the brain, which is that knowing side, that intuitive side. It recognizes patterns and processes data exponentially faster. So it's not meant to be broken down and tried to be understood or translated. Sometimes people will receive translations. Sometimes it is more of like a message. But a lot of times it's more an exchange of energy, because when we're talking about light, we're talking about information. It's data. So light language is an expression of extra data, and it gets expressed in different ways. So I express it vocally, what sounds like different languages. Can sound like sound effects. It can sound like just some weird stuff altogether. but it can also be expressed in other ways. So I use the movement of my body to facilitate different frequencies, to release what we would call light codes, which just are like combinations of information, like programs or spells, if you want to call it spells. And it can also come through as symbols too. So it can look like glyphs and script and all sorts of stuff. So when you see like the stereotypical magician, you know, like wizards in movies and stuff, there's all that like magical language like written everywhere. That's based on light language. And when they speak spells and they're doing the spirit finger things and that's they're referencing light language. They're referencing like true spell work. This is what it is. You know, you can do spell work with languages like English, but English was actually like designed to kind of keep us limited in a lot of ways. It's kind of very not intuitive to how we truly are. It's very limiting, like truly limiting. It keeps things in boxes. It needs to be understood in a certain way. So true spells are spoken from the heart, and they're unstructured. So I can be doing the same functionality, making like let's say just to open the heart, and I could say it in a ton of different dialects, and it would do the same thing. So it could be, you know, or it can be it could be just weird ones, even like there's it's ridiculous, but they still do the same thing. They're just like different types of expressions of energy. Those are all just different expressions of myself. So it's not like there's some weird demon coming in through my back and just being like, this little puppet. There are different aspects of myself that I have integrated over time through healing. My multidimensional versions. But it's all just me. I hope that answered your questions. Is it like speaking in tongues? Yeah, so tongues is a flavor, I like to say. A flavor of light language. But since we're talking about light, we're talking about information and data. So where does that data come from? Where does that information come from? So when I try not to use the term tongues that much because it's associated with like religious factions, right? That's usually what people think of when they hear the term tongues. And the thing about religion is that it is designed to keep things in a certain structure, right? You have certain rules. You say, this is the way that it is, and that's not the way that it is, and this is the way. So, and as we know, we have a lot of trauma collectively from religions. There's nothing wrong with religions, but there's a lot of like baggage that comes with that. So we try not to use that term too much, but honestly, tongues is light language, you know? But where is that information coming from? What data set? So I connect directly to source. All that is, call it whatever you want, but it all comes from the love shelf. It all comes from the heart. All the ingredients that we're cooking with tonight all come from the love shelf. And that doesn't have limitations. It doesn't have boundaries. I hope that answers that. Oh yeah, well, I hope to get the right email. It's my username at Gmail. You should be able to find it. If you get an email from customer service. Tiger Lily says, I'm new and I agree. Beautiful. Well, welcome. Hey Moon, harekisita sister, tu hasule krayan tu kere. Ke prasu fetar takusandir mochatu kefra. Rendo nanam tutati kraya kurta se feki moyana. Te tu ke sheti yesur ke manturu kukura yafa. Kibro to fa yokur kanensi. She tukre se fascinen totani mukra hesu tafe. Ranana kurke feta muhartuche kurka. Je kurka mahartuke katatatata. We love you, sis. We love you. All right, so let's do some. We'll show an example of all the woo-woo stuff that I just talked about, because it's really meant to be experienced. We can talk about it. We can try to like break it down and what it means and how it works, which is great because that's what I love to do. But it's really best experienced, and especially once you get it activated within yourself, because it's not something that you like learn, right? You don't learn to speak light language. It's not like, okay, when you're trying to do this, you need to say it this way. No, it's very intuitive. It's a flow state type thing, and it gets activated within you. So it's like remembered. It's hard to explain, but when you experience it, once you get activated, there's no doubt, and it's a bit of a trip. So even what we're doing, when we're doing it, like even if it's for healing or whatever comes through, it's meant to be experienced, because it's going to be experienced uniquely by each individual. It's a lot like music in that way. You know, you don't have to know what a song was written about in order to feel the emotion, the vibe of the music. And if it has lyrics, people are going to interpret those lyrics pretty different between each other, right? That's what it's like. It's more like that. It goes through the filters. Spirit, the universe speaks in symbols. As above, so below. Everything is a symbol, because that's multidimensional in nature, and it speaks to individuals differently. And that's why everything works the way that it does, is because we're able to look at things from our own unique perspective and gain value in the ways that we need it. So it's very powerful in that way. So if you're open to receive, you don't have to be by any means. Nothing's going to be pushed onto anybody that does not want to receive. You may feel stuff at the same time, though, but just as you're in the room with somebody, you're going to feel their energy. It doesn't mean that they're pushing their codes onto you, or that doesn't mean that they're trying to change anything within you. Just like you can smell somebody if you're in the room with them, you know, like they got a bunch of cologne on, you can smell them. Doesn't mean that you are taking their cologne and drinking. I don't know. You know what I mean? So if you're open to receive, just relax. This is whatever comes through is only for your highest good and the highest good of all. So, yeah, just keep that in mind. I'm just going to set the intention that what comes through is just all love, and whatever comes through for each person as facilitated by your highest self. So you're the bigger version of you, the higher mind. However, I'm trying to get away from using the same terms all over like everybody else do, trying to figure out different ways to say it. But the idea of your bigger version of you, right? Because we're just looking from a really tiny lens here in this physical reality. Okay, so boom. One second, Ashley. Before I forget, this is not a job. Don't worry. It's not. You don't have to. There's no responsibility in it. I just don't know how I didn't put you as a moderator already. All right, so we're gonna bring through. I'm gonna make funny sounds. I'm gonna move my fingers quite a bit. My eyes do funny stuff. I'm happy to explain it afterwards. Don't be scared. People get freaked out by the eye thing. I didn't even know I did it until I started making videos. So I should just wear some sunglasses or something, so people don't get scared away. It's okay. If they get scared away, they're not ready yet anyway. Okay? All right, let's do it. So I'm just going to go ahead and reaffirm my connection to Source. We're always connected, but I'm just going to bring consciously through some extra love codes. Da shite shita sato acid in tish di karika tire shamonta renda da korki fishita safsara. So feel your body. You don't have to watch me. I recommend just to relax. Allow your eyes to do what they want to do. Just relax your body. Sink into your seat. Probably recommend to sit down if you're not sitting down. A whole bunch of weird sounds are probably going to come through, so remember, they're just all different me's. Ringere tu safi kresha to kere tu para per nambare tu hirkuka raknike shasietere sarke pukuta papa rantara tu tahishi tu eserin chikuira marta lure to basukre fish tata hartu rekra shumanta paritere shari kreshari tata sufrando de tau fakiri prashita rishanana reti shanana tane no corte fe pecuri shatu pesanta de tafi cur parte feshina tu kerite mana re tu kafo kure kifri ti si repurata rita nana tata ti rasu kata tata ki guaha muta mama hatu peperra tu ka pekni seta ritu tafi suarti mankurja roto parta kiriti pakare nanaritu kiro sato pes stupia farina utu kukui Krito parkit kuna tsarti peshi akuri pakuru kuruka. Mera nan turti fera shahatu kesi te yashi te risi varia. Repu arana kawa. Ruharana tatatatatatata iti iti yaru tatatata kibro taparket mutsa kibro to be yamar to piku to proto pe hatu kibra fashuti per kete parto kete gintu tete kibra kusafri retu tadu te moncher ta te serte te sefur ko per papekina muti per fakitaru renene note di vasuro para ta yara da koti far shiri ko tai shai sare nando te di monemo repu to kuru hari por yasu rishva yamwa kibra ba mandara ba harte pe per shuti fa yuku la krukatasaki nan le kuresa farite pa hukra kashair tarik te arkite nante di ku rakitu tatu fasur ta fu harri mamankrea retu hisi tu shere ta frasi ru karamantare kesi fiku ari pepeti pan dini nantare tu hasfrakte teria tu frature te vorishuti brrto che data che per che pot chiamare ti arrico sa pahut purto pa pro capire in buha sorry if I start if I'm burping a lot, that's a way that I release energy. I'll also do it through yawning. Removing a punch from the solar plexus. There's a lot of grief, honestly, like a lot of grief is usually in the lungs. There's a lot of mandumi. This is a I'll talk later. The good people in the poor parnanata, cookerish. To how I le mandoriki, le cra, le locutapia, curila, no a park, efes, le mandiris. Kaurkafa, lebrenanana tipo kipi hati, huharatai. Ringanano to harke, fekresha, to hasa, tarike, pepakiri, kiprota furta with it manga. Lera mano tata where to that you were working more the body to see person, but tata hipertota word per kimoto, ripus go safra fancy peki porto test at the bokira, but in multi part of the percent the when you put some of the pick up Yasaka like a Shuka, we open to keep a hair, Reiki, Raki, Mosaki, Poki, that is okay, part of Pakino, but the Sari, Ranta, that keeps security part of the Picota, Prepapatin good part of the Pekino, the Protodiata, Yetoro, Fasuro Mondo, Reco, Carta. Ritardi perché sì, ma nandano mai, lui rucca per dai, e sull'urutaro mando che perché può, dante, cara to hali, sana che pa crale, le guarda, sufficiente testi to carica per non che porta più sotto i frai to caso. Proto c'era suri manci la circo fartan pecra hatardiata. Prendo tavolo, Rawa mortaria, tari tuceto, kiprata, ringara chiarte, mortawe, curdi, quesurama. Riwakura, weku kayukula koayakula. Kaekola yukura peko ala hiatna. La pietra e shakira per harta pafisa da hikurta visu bandor e l'actaria le raia tuiri pipise shahratu fa metarte mahakata tuba matanando gewa luka warwa meka yari nes aiwa le rutari ma petar ma dawi uguai pe anare shuru da warwa Ekuka ek taka eka ai ai nuk kure ke kaya al ta la ika takara takumeno kaya to harpe karte shafe panatewe che è nato bene, te può parte se no con banatoso. E poi mando mari chi mandani con i mukini mari pugini mukudani di bai mudi muore ma Yiku no ma di pe pa ku cha porque pe su pa tu para pata ondre raitatura shapara katahishe ibu harta Siete tare ento di prefo sorta kan roko pe scuti wa roko do wa shuko to wa ko paus pe kan aku ala he ka squa ala ka yo la sky ko la wa se ko ai la ko ko la ninga ke ko ka yung la wi pa yu ko la ko I ko le ko ta wa la ai ke ta ke ko ka ai ko mo ke ko ala ko ke kita ai ke de se ni kai se to ka we pa pin mo ta wa ta bi shuki ke ta le monta le ko ta le ko sa le ko ni mani le ko ta le ko sa le mani ala le ko te pa la ko ta le ko ti fe so le monte le uta le ko poi le mani wala le ni le cre le ko de ya lo ko na lo ko ni per le ko ti impa le to ke pe perta ya la lo monta le ko ni mani ko ti fe ko ti ya ti lo ta u Shutare to harta farta sarta sita rata ranta ratu rasia rasu turta tandira kurke ashanto partiandurta parasu rasu rondura pera tira nanthroya rathura salia suratia motara di dadio turtia fartmo beturtaria nantira toki retucarte tera te puadita monta eta tawe tuta pe eto ta ikusi pero que ti porta pe kuta papa ta pirete ta ko sarranta ti pero que safra pe que tu ti ta ti porta per que pe non tu si porta paru safra pe pesa fa oti ma rato carti sheta tu che ti qua Good. Confirm. All set? All right. Woohoo! All right. Let me know how you're feeling after that. And I'm happy to take questions. I'm sure some of you are like, what in the... What? Say, what? Yeah. Let me know what you experienced. Yeah, especially if you're new to this stuff. If you're new and you had an experience, we would love to hear from you. It's okay, Sabrina. You know, I didn't feel things for a really long time. So yeah, don't worry about it. But if you're open to receive and you had intentions to receive, then you're gonna receive. So that's, you know, some energy I felt, some I did not. That's totally cool. Thank you. Fire Reiki on what was you say? Sorry, I missed that. I think I was yawning like crazy. That's great. That's a good sign of release. Yawning is releasing. What energy did you feel the most from us? So there was a lot that we were moving from the solar plexus that was big, but we kind of we did a whole bunch of stuff. Brought through some activations as well. Connected me with the cat. Awesome. The cat connected me with you. How about that? I felt a release of tightness from my chest. Beautiful. I feel exactly how you feel coming out, providing a session tie. It's so awkward coming back, right? Cut your live, didn't feel anything until that night. I saw shapes and brightest colors. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Does it make you feel tired? The high frequency, and since I do it so physically, can wear me out. Yeah. So it's not the energy, it's not what I do that can tire me, it's the frequency moving through my body. So my physical body can only, handle so much high frequency. And I already have a pretty high signature frequency. That doesn't mean better. High frequency doesn't mean better. So I have just a natural high frequency, and it's already pretty taxing on my nervous system. So when there's a lot of extra energy moving through, and I'm working with a bunch of people, right? So there's a number of, like, over 200 people that are in here, and then a number that move through. I'm working with all of you individually. So that can kind of be taxing, but I do it very physically too. So like if I was just sitting here and doing it, like, it would be one thing. It could kind of be tiring, but since everything that I do is very physical, and so those different aspects that come through, some of them have different energies. So like it'll move my body in a certain way, and it'll tense my muscles because there's so much energy that moves through it. So it's not just that it's a voice that sounds different, or different like mudras that come through to help tune it. It's like calibrating. So you'll see how some of the different dialects will have like different fingers, the fingers will do different things, right? Some are going to be more like this, and then some are going to be, you know, like this, and others are just going to be holding certain spots or working just directly with the heart. So some of those energies that move through can be, they can wear me out. So yes, I do have to rest. Change is upon us, said you and Bodhi were amazing on Monday. Thank you. I appreciate you for expressing that. I'm glad to hear that you were there. Yeah, she's great. The Blue Bodhi, she's amazing. So I was really honored and happy that she invited me to be part of her live, because that's a big deal, right? To invite someone into your space, your container, right? You really have to. That shows a lot. That shows a lot of love and respect. So I'm deeply appreciative and honored to be there for that. So. And she's doing her whole week of that. So if y'all don't follow the Blue Bodhi, I highly recommend to give her a follow. And she's been doing Reiki all week, you know, free Reiki all week, so every night. So it's beautiful. I support anybody that's out there sharing the love and trying to help other people remember more of who they are. Sukati rekasarta. Lisa Marie says, my eyes were closed. I felt many different energies, lots of twitching, and heard all your tones. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Make sure you drink some water too. If you don't have water, I recommend to snag some, especially if you're going to be hanging out. You know, if you're going to be hanging out for a little bit, the energies are just going to be, there's already naturally a lot of energy in the group container, but especially if I go through and do some, you know, transmissions, it can make your cells work on overdrive. So anything you can do to support the cells is going to assist. The Blue Bodhi, so if somebody doesn't mind, so Bodhi, B-O-H-D-I, so the Blue Bodhi. Yeah, all one word. Thank you, Patty. Y'all going to go live again together? Likely, I mean, yeah, she's open for it. I'll definitely invite her if she wants to be on my channel, or if she invites me back. She said she's definitely down for that, but, you know, all up to her. Moon says, thank you. I feel my heart chakra and other things happen I can't quite explain. You're most welcome, Moon. We love you. So a big part of me, so what's interesting about, I still have this weird feeling, like when I hear the term gift, I don't know why it still kind of triggers me, right? So someone said, thank you for sharing your gift. And so I'm sharing this to be a little bit vulnerable. So immediately I kind of was like, wanted to reject that, right? But thank you for that you know, for expressing that, because I know it's truly from the heart, and I know what you meant. So I'm just sharing that, yeah, I don't know why. So I think the term gift kind of triggers me a little bit, because that implies that it was like given to you in a lot of ways, right? So it's like saying that it's something outside of yourself in a lot of ways. I think this is why it kind of gets me when we talk about gifts, not just in this context, like in general, in context, when we talk about gifts. And it always just kind of makes me like kind of this weird feeling. And I think it's because it implies a gift that was given to you. And in some contexts, absolutely, right? Like in the big picture, all of it's given to us, right? But in a lot of ways, a lot of us have earned it, you know, like a lot of us have gone through a lot in order to be able to do what we do, right? And also on that way. But and then again, on another level, it's who we are too at the same time. So that's what I want to try to help express, is that like this isn't something that I do. It's not separate from who I am. It's part of who I am. So it's hard to explain, but yeah, it becomes integrated with you. So it's not just something that I do, it's part of who I am. So I'm sharing who I am with you, which is a weird thing, because it can be a vulnerable thing too, because when people reject it, it feels like they're rejecting you in a lot of ways, right? Because I am no illusion this stuff is super strange and weird, and it's far out and even hard to believe until you experience it. So I'm in no illusion to that, but it's like, oh crap, like if people reject me, they reject what I do, that it's like there's a feeling a little bit of like, oh, they're rejecting me, you know, but I'm not offended in the least about it. But I just wanted to share that, because if you're going through a similar you know, like that. I don't know. I just felt like sharing that. So if that resonates in some way, like be you that's what I'm trying to get at. Be you. Be you. You're beautiful. You're amazing. And I know that so many of y'all have so many gifts. I'm not triggered to say it. You have beautiful gifts. You have so much of you to share with the world. And as weird as it might feel, because I know a lot of people that are going to be here on this channel and on this live express their light languages. They express these things. That's why they're drawn to us, is because of that, you know? So it's okay. Share it. Share it. People aren't going to reject you. They're going to love you. You're not any more weird than anybody else. It's exactly the right amount of weird. So please share you, share who you are, because that's what makes you special. Exactly who you are. You're your own unique song. Nobody else is that song in the entire existence of anything. You are perfect in who you are. So please share your music. Share your music with everyone. Thank you, Atmas. I'm curious. So Silo says, I'm curious to know what you see when you're channeling. That's a great question. So I can touch on this. I don't see anything. It's really simple. So I don't visualize. I'm a little different. You know, there's others like me. I don't know if Ashley's still here, but there's others like me where we don't visualize anything in our mind. So I'm unable to visualize at all. People might refer to it as like aphantasia, but I also don't have access to my imagination, so I can't imagine things either. And I know it sounds different, like it sounds like the same thing. It's not quite the same thing. They're a little bit different. But I also don't hear anything in my mind as well. So I don't have an inner monologue. I don't hear sounds in my mind. I have knowings. So for me, things are like a knowing. It's like I have the data, but no screen to see the stuff. It's like there's a certain amount of data. I can know what an image would look like because I would have enough data in order to support that image, but I don't actually have that image. So when I'm doing my stuff, I'm in a total flow state. I'm letting things come out. For me, I'm mostly like, what I'm thinking about is mostly making sure that I'm flowing, because thoughts can come in, emotions can come in, and I just have to like let them go. But when certain things come in, I know that they're relevant, right? So since I have nothing going on the inside, when things come through, I know that it's relevant for whatever we're working on. So it makes it easier for me to kind of identify what's going on in that way. But it takes some training. It takes a little bit of like recognizing that no thought is random. Nothing that goes through your mind is random. There's always something about it that is important to recognize. There's always purpose to everything. Nothing is coincidence. And when you start to realize that, you can start to decode everything in your outer reality and your inner reality really powerfully. A really good exercise for practicing this is getting into a really good stillness state. So like relaxing, laying down, relaxing your body as much as possible, and placing all of your awareness into a single point in your body. You can work through the energy center, so you can work into different parts of your body, or that's what I would recommend. Or go just wherever in your body. It can be somewhere you have something physical going on, and just hold your awareness in those areas while relaxing as deeply as possible. And try to let any thoughts that come through just pass through. And what you're gonna realize over time as you do this, if you're letting the thoughts go through instead of like holding on to them, you're gonna notice that they start to have a theme about them. So like, for example, if you're in your neck, you're placing all your awareness in the back of your neck or something. You might not have some thoughts for a bit, or you might be really good about letting like the monkey mind of what, you know, your day move through, because those thoughts were up there already, just kind of stored. So letting those move through, and then you're gonna recognize, okay, when a thought like kind of really sticks, it may have a theme to it. So if it's like in your neck and throat, it may have a theme of like communication coming up. Like it may be a memory or something that seems random about a time that you had a argument with somebody, or a miscommunication. You didn't say something when you wanted to, or whatever. And it might just be like you're thinking, oh crap, it's that thing that I've like that annoying thing that I forgot about, you know, that thing that always comes up in my awareness. But you're gonna recognize, oh wait, hold on. It's not, if I'm in my throat and it's about communication, it's being kind of stored there. That frequency is stored there. So with that awareness, you can clear it too. So knowing that when it's there, being in that energy, you can just let it go. You can clear it, let it go, or change it. You can reimagine it in a different way. Maybe instead of not communicating something that you did, like if you wanted to communicate something and you weren't able to do it at the time, you can go back in your imagination, go before the point where you didn't say anything and reimagine it where you said what you wanted to say, where you expressed yourself. And you may notice it shifts and releases. It's really simple, a quantum healing technique. But yeah, all this energy healing stuff, all this woo-woo stuff, it's simple. It's really simple. It's just that's why we call it consciousness, right? Because you just have to be consciously aware of it. Nothing is special about anybody that does this stuff. And I think a lot of people get hung up because they assume that they think that if people think that they can do what we do, then they must think that they're special. And it's not that way at all. It's actually kind of the opposite. Is that if you don't think that these things are possible, it's because you're not believing in yourself enough, right? It's really simple. It's like, just you got it all. Like we're not special because we do this stuff. The only thing that's special about it is that we just happen to recognize it before you did. That's all. Like as soon as you recognize that it's in you, it's boom, it's there too. It's really simple. It's not, the stuff isn't hard. It's really easy. It's using your imagination to interface with spirit. Your imagination isn't what they tell you it is. It's not this thing that's not powerful. That's where they get you. And they being anybody that doesn't want you to use your powers to be you. It's not there's some bad guy out to get you. Some people might perceive it that way, but your only enemy is yourself if you allow it to be. I hope that made sense. I know I missed a lot of comments and probably some questions. So if you do have questions and I missed it, or if you have a comment that I missed, please don't hesitate to post it again. Like you can even copy and paste your comment your question before you post it, and I will, and you can repeat it, and I'll do my best to answer it when I stop my monologues because I like to blab. People who know me, I talk a lot. Thank you, JPRZ. Thank you. All right, so I'm gonna kind of scroll up. I saw some questions here. Asking because it seems like you are having many different conversations around you. Yeah, so there's a lot of things that go on. So they're usually expressing energy. So there's different aspects that are coming through are there to express a certain energy. Sometimes there's energy held in the dialect and the words that are being expressed, but the energy is really what's important. So yeah, it's just different specialists that come through. Might look like conversations. Sometimes they are, sometimes and you'll see me looking around, because I'm connecting with different things in my own energy field, but as inside, outside, so I could be connecting to different cosmic bodies, constellations, different grids, different energy centers on myself, different aspects of self that are in the space around me. So yeah, I hope that made sense. So you understand what you're saying. Sometimes I understand. It's not, so I talked about this earlier, but it's not really meant to be understood in the way that English is. Sometimes it is, but it's more multidimensional than that. It's really about the energy. Just like you don't need to know what the lyrics, like a lot of times when we listen to songs, we don't actually know the real lyrics. We're still jamming out to it, right? We feel the energy of the song. We like it. And people might interpret those lyrics differently in a song. It's similar in that way. So that's a left hemisphere thing, needing to understand it and break it down and put it into structures. This is more a heart-based thing and a right hemisphere thing, that intuitive knowing side, the side that recognizes patterns without having to break it down. It's just a knowing, it's a doing, if that makes sense. We slay the words. I always seem to, so let's see 1 second. Gemini Mama, she says, I always seem to love the beat of a song long before I ever pay attention to the lyrics. Yeah, yep, a lot of us do. But some people actually really pay attention to the lyrics, We're all so much more diverse than we give each other credit for. We think that we all perceive reality in the same way. But even just an example of me not being able to visualize anything in my mind or not having an inner monologue whatsoever, that a lot of people have a hard time believing that's possible, right? So people that have an inner monologue, it's hard to imagine what it's like to not have one. And for me, it's hard to imagine what it's like to have one, right? So I constantly have this dialogue in your head. I'm like, dang, that sounds Like, really? You have it? And so when you hear music in your mind, you really hear music in your mind? I'm like, how do you get anything done? Like, and for me, I don't get anything done because of the opposite, you know? Like, it's so hard. It's interesting, you know? Like, what if we taste food and we taste something completely different? Or the color I identify as one color is actually a different color to you, you know? So, so Santita Paratia. Rising Rose says, I focus on lyrics. My friends get annoyed by it. Yep, exactly. Ashley says, I'm off my rocker when I hear anything in my head. Yeah. That's funny. Yeah. When the stuff starts going in my mind, I know that there's something's going on. On a normal day, my mind is a jukebox. I love that. I think that's so cool though. Like if I could use my imagination, it would be a weird place. Like I would probably get lost. Honestly, I'd probably go insane because I know what kind of things move through me. I would probably lose my mind. And even when I go through periods of like intense processing, the veil is really thin for me. So I get really, really low and like not well physically. So I can start to see more and it's easier for me to do certain things because I'm like kind of moving out of my physical body. So I start to see geometry, you know, in the space around me, so I can see like my structure. Well, when I'm in that state, I'm not usually putting up my structures and stuff, so I'm not seeing what I normally would. But I will see different things, and I know I would probably lose my mind if I could actually imagine, you know, all that I wanted to, and would probably manifest all sorts of things that I don't need to do. You know, like if I could do it, honestly I feel like it would be game over. Like if I could do it, no problem. Like I feel like it would be game over. It's just, hi Amber, I feel like, yeah, it would just be, because I would be like, oh, I'm gonna do this and this and this and this. I'm gonna fix this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this and this. Right now, I'm just kind of walking around blindfolded and deaf, you know, like, so it's like, I don't know what to do. Somebody point me, tell me what I need to do to help. Like, all right, so let's do something that we do sometimes on the lives. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give the opportunity for my subscribers to throw out some intentions for healing. So don't throw them out yet. I'm going to set it to subscriber only chat in order to take in some recommendations. 1 second. Thank you for subscribing, Queen of Swords. Hey, sis, what was I going to say? Hey, hi, light-bearing being. Welcome, sis. What was I going to do? Oh, Amy Hall's in here too? Oh, good dark. Hi, Amy. I think I can... Hold on. There's something I can gift. I got to remember how to do that. I can give out some stuff. I just don't know how to do it. How do I do it? I want to give to Shuri. Hi, Shuri. I have to remember how to do that after. Dang it. Okay. No, I'm going to figure it out right now. You can figure it out right now, Ty. Maybe they won't let me do it here. Well, shucks. It's all good. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it to subscriber only chat for a second. Probably want to do the transmission stuff too. But so when I put it to subscribers only, then the subscribers are going to have an opportunity to throw out what intentions we want. So I'm going to put it in a big circle. So I'm going to do this circle here. So I'm going to use my shungite coaster to use as a little template to make a nice circle here. And then what I'm going to do is around this circle, you probably can't see it, around the circle I'm going to place those different intentions. And then once we got it filled up, I'm going to use a pendulum and we're going to let the pendulum pick which intention that we focus on. So if you are interested in throwing out some intentions, that is the way to do it, is subscribing. Thank you for subscribing, Anna. It's a great way to show support, energetically, of course, as well. And show, it's an energetic exchange. It's really low impact, and it means a lot both in the physical and in the higher realms. So anyway, okay, so that's what we're gonna do. If you're interested in being part of that subscribing is the way to do that. And I'll turn it back on to everybody else's chat too. So don't fret. 1 sec. All right, subscriber friends, time to throw out your intentions. What should we focus on here? Throat. Activation. Throat activation. That's funny. People want activations, okay. Well, I'm gonna put throat activation on there anyway, just because why not? Heart. Back. I'm just gonna put back. Yeah, we'll do back and shoulders. Anybody else? If not, crown chakra, we'll do that. Go ahead and throw them out. Throw them out, friends. If you've thrown out one, it's okay. You can do another one. Don't be afraid to be specific. Third eye. Eyes, okay. Sciatic, okay. Oh, thank you, Anna. Digging all the suggestions. Beautiful. I got more room on my circle. What's the chakra at the atlas? The mouth of God. So we'll do the mouth. I think the ninth. We would call it the ninth chakra. So it goes up goes from up through here and through the brain and out through the top, the pineal gland. So we can do the mouth of God. I don't know, whatever needs to happen in there. Just release. I like that. Just releasing. Connect conscious with subconscious. We'll just do conscious, sub. Okay. Clearing limited beliefs. I like that one. It's a good one for a lot of things. Trauma clearing. Yeah, I like it. Got a couple more. Can take a few more. Don't be shy, subscribers. This is one of the beautiful benefits. Communication. Solar plexus. Menstruation. All right, that's good. We'll start there. Sound good? Awesome. We'll just put upgrades. I'll put upgrades on there too, Queen. See where I can fit that. Upgrades. All right, cool. We'll see what it picks here. So I got a little pendulum here. And then I'm going to let the pendulum pick here. So I'm gonna let spirit, let the pendulum pick what we should focus on first. I don't know how else to say it. Can't jolt me because it moves the thing, guys. Okay, so working with the throat. So throat energy center activation or whatever needs to come through the throat center. So a number of people brought that up. So throat is first, throat activation, or yeah, we'll see what comes through for that. Throat. So I'm going to do the transmission here. So I'm going to leave it on subscriber only chat while I do this transmission. I will turn the chat to everybody else once I'm done. So if you want to be part of the conversation while I'm doing my stuff, not that you need to be, I would recommend just to sit and feel. But if you would like to do that, then subscribing is the way to do that. And it's just another way to have an energy exchange and just to show your support. So, all right, so we're just going to reaffirm, no harm will be done, no energy will be taken that is not freely given out of love. It will be in alignment for the highest good of all only, and only those that are meant to receive what is right for them will receive, right? So if they will not receive anything that isn't meant for them. Everything comes from the love shelf. So we're just going to open the hearts, tend to connect heart to heart. All right, and then we're going to work with the throat energy center. You may feel some tightness in your throat. You may cough. All sorts of things may come through. You may yawn. You may burp. Karuka fahata ke shekir mahatuki memeati ne kurki ke epiakiro para takuki masa taki kurke fa mara tara nana kiti ke le lete ke wahale kampo kai kisi asiamo che kui kairo to safesiki na to ora ke tapai kiri kina mantuke de karaka tuki hakuruka fasa potumenia rito ke evra tavera to ke ura better put your gachi ke. Sometimes when I'm working on the throat, I won't be able to speak here in a sec, so. Nice rip. So throat center is also where our clairaudience is located. You may hear more ringing in your ears over the next days. What people might consider tinnitus. This is your clairaudience. These are just pure frequencies. Pay attention to the different cadences and the subtle differences. You might hear a little bit different frequency in each ear. And you might be able, and if you actually pay attention to it, you might recognize that they're in the 3D space around you. So you can kind of start to target those high frequencies. And you might notice it's coming somewhere from in your body or somewhere in your field. Sometimes you will get downloads. Sometimes when we're getting a lot of energetic downloads, spiritual downloads, we'll hear a lot of those sounds in our ears. That's how my clairaudience comes through, is just pure frequency. So I hear like really high pitches, different pitches and cadences and ringings in my ears. Just to be clear, this is for everyone. So this isn't only being received by the subscribers. This is for everybody in the chat. So everybody in the container, the room here. Again, burping is a way that I release energy. So if you're yawning a lot or burping or crying, those are forms of release. Let it out. This helps release energy. I don't know where the burps come from, honestly. I still don't know the science of how that works. But it does it, so I don't know. Where does that come from? I don't even know where it comes from. I can feel it building up. Almost there. Still releasing. We're good. Confirm. Confirm. Move on. All right, cool. So I'm gonna turn the chat back on for everybody. Oof. Okay. So let me know what that experience was like for you. You share your experience. It can assist others as well. So, yeah, definitely encourage you to share your experience because it can be really helpful. I had a moment with my dad before he passed, and light language came out. Never happened before. Thoughts. It's beautiful, Russian bonze. First of all, my condolences. But yeah, it's a form of higher self integration. So it's like your true essence coming through to assist. It probably assisted him to shift some energies and help bring through some healing for him and helping him with that transition. So that's beautiful. It's beautiful. Heather says, good to be here. Well, we love having you here. My one ear feels muffled, kind of blocked. That might happen. So it might feel a little more like interesting, like pressure that can happen. You might hear different pitches. You might actually hear your ears pop as well. So you might already have pressure in your ears that you didn't know, and it might release. Yes, thank you, Ginger. Stay hydrated and grounded. Hydrating is super important with this type of work. Linda says, I coughed and did a lot of yawning. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. That's a great sign. That's good release. Etheric Mycelium says, high-pitched noises. Like we said, thank you for subscribing, Gizmo Jess. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Lisa Marie says, lots of talking and eating food too fast takes in extra oxygen, creating burps. That's not what's going on. I'm talking about why I release when I burp, or why I burp to release, like where it comes from. It manifests like right here. Sometimes it's in here, but it's usually like comes up like it's interesting. Thank you, sis. Thank you for that, queen. Notice my heartbeat, my throat stopped when you did. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Love light language. Would love to know more. Yeah, that's why we're here. So feel free to ask questions. I'm happy to answer. That's what this is Friday Night Lights. It's all about collective work and sharing information and perspectives. And again, of course, this is only just my perspective. Anything that I share, anything that I say, take what resonates, forget the rest. Everybody's different. This is just my perspective at this current time. I reserve the right to change it at any moment. So yeah, that's what kind of is tricky. We all learn discernment. Thank you, Helen. We all learn discernment. And discernment isn't whether things are right or wrong. This is really important, and people don't talk about it, I don't think, enough. Discernment isn't whether things are like true or untrue or right or wrong. Discernment's whether or not it's right or wrong for you. That's for you to experience and decide. So discernment is an inner journey. So follow your own discernment, even if it's something that might not, it maybe will lead you in a direction that is maybe not in your highest alignment. This could happen, but it's there for a reason. It's there to steer you in the direction for you to actually truly learn what is right for you and what you truly do prefer to have your reality be like. So don't just, I would recommend, almost just said what I said not to do. I don't recommend to just buy into what anybody says just because they have a platform, or just because, you know, they have a spiritual audience, or, you know, they're on TikTok and they, you know, they're a healer, this is what they do professionally or whatever. Don't just buy just anything that they say. You know, run it through your heart, run it through your own filters, feel what feels right for you, and just forget the rest, because that is going to lead you authentically to where you truly are trying to go. So anything that anybody says, it's their perspective, it's valid. I would recommend not to invalidate anybody's perspective, because that's just going to make it a bigger pain in the ass. What you resist will persist. Thank you, Psychic. But yeah, just discernment. So you follow your heart, follow your feels. They'll guide you home. Okay, thank you, Lady Lake. So Russian Bonsai said, advice on how to connect fully to be able to speak light language again. Work on healing. You know, focus on healing, and it's gonna get activated. You have the intention. If that's your intention, you've already got the intention. So now just focus on following your joy, following your healing journey in whatever way that it leads you, and it's going to happen naturally for you. You're already here. There's a reason why you're here, and it may happen spontaneously. You can follow you know, some of my videos. You can look at other people that you feel you resonate with. Oh, thank you, Ginger. Oh, I love that one. That's so dope. You know the good ones. Thank you, Ginger. You knew that would get me. Thank you. Somebody said, did you start light language out of the blue? I did. Is that normal? Yeah, I did. So it kind of it bursted out one night. Yeah. I was aware of it, but yeah, it just all burst out. I didn't intend to open it up. Actually, I had a lot of resistance to it. I was like, that's not for me. I was like, I've been aware of it, but I was like, yeah, it's awesome. That's beautiful for them. But that's not my thing. I want to create my own thing. You know, I want my thing to be whatever my thing is. But of course, the universe has a sense of humor. And of course, it got forced out of me. So now that's what I'm known for, is the thing that I was like, nope, not for me. And it's funny too, because I felt the same way about Mississippi. I remember telling people, there's one state that I had some bad experiences when I traveled, and I was like, Mississippi, that's the state that I'm like, nope, not that one. And there's a really good, I'm probably going to be moving to Mississippi. So it happens to anything like that. So pay attention to the things that you really dislike, because you might that might end up being the thing that is for you, you know? It's interesting how that plays. Debbie says, I see kids expressing their light language lately. Yes, that's beautiful. Yes. This is something I love to talk about, because kids are where it's at. So there's been different waves. People will call them different waves of people. Different waves of beings that are incarnating here that carry certain energies to assist with the kind of awakening of everybody, to help everybody as a collective remember who they are, whatever that looks like. So there's been different waves. A big wave of that was in the 60s. There was other waves before that as well, back in the late 1800s, moving into the 1900s, there's a certain type of wave where they were moving, technology forward in a certain way. The 60s was that the free love movement, and a lot of civil rights movements. So it was this different type of awakening process. People were experimenting with consciousness. So there was a big awakening process through that. And then there was some more that were born after that are doing certain things. So the millennials, we're kind of in that really hardcore, the grunt, the grunts, in military, sort of. Not that we are military, but we're kind of like on the front lines doing a lot of like the heavy lifting and doing a lot of the grunt work in order to make space so that these kids can come in with their gifts supported, come in with their understanding, its abilities, and know that they're going to be supported in being who they are. They get to just be. That's what's beautiful about these kids coming here now, is a lot of them are going to be coming in with all their remembrances and their understandings and their gifts, and they're going to be not pushed away because we're recognizing that these things are real, and that's beautiful. And they're also incarnating into diverse families, right? So like a lot of us, a lot of people in like my generation, we think that we're here to change the world, right? Like we're here to make the shift in consciousness. And in a lot of ways that's true. But the real beautiful thing is what we did is we're making space for these kids to be themselves. They're the ones that are really going to change this world because they just get to be. It's not about doing. It's about being. Thank you, Queen. It's about being. And they're going to incarnate. They're incarnating all these different diverse families. And so imagine you're don't believe in any of this stuff at all. You're like, nah, that stuff, that woo-woo stuff. No, you're maybe like a super religious background or whatever, and you have these certain rigid beliefs and understandings. And then you have a baby come into your life, and this kid starts talking to you about its past lives and these like super detailed experiences and of what happened on this in this life or on this planet, and they tell you all these details, and it's like, okay, and they have their gifts on. They can see grandma who's passed telling you about what grandma's saying that nobody else could possibly know, being able to look at the energy and talk to the parents like, hey, and you okay, mom? You got, you're upset. I can see the black stuff all over you, whatever. And that's, can you imagine? Yeah, thank you so much for the subscribers. Thank you, Ginger, for pinning that. I'm in my monologue, so I appreciate y'all for subscribing. Thank you. It means so much. Both energetically, like in the physical as well, but also energetically. There's some beautiful things that take place outside of the physical that is very special. So thank you so much. And so that's where the really big change is going to happen, because you can't reject your child, right? Like someone that you love so much. It's like, and you're seeing this firsthand, it changes things, opens them up. They don't have to do it all. They don't have to do anything that they don't want to. They don't have to be anything that they're not, but it's going to open it up. So neutralizing things, neutralizing that polarity, because that's been the big issue, is that there's been such polarity, and they're neutralizing that and allowing people to be open to what's possible. And that can be anything. That might look different for everybody's reality, and we don't need to do anything. I encourage us to allow people to have whatever their reality is, as long as they're not harming anybody else, right? As long as they're not trying to restrict other beings in what they want to experience. Oops. Somebody else just subscribed. Thank you so much. Thank you to my new subscribers. Hey, Stace in the house. I love you. Let's do a quick cleanse real quick, Stace, just to make sure. Why not? Let's reestablish your armor. We put another Arcturian headset above the block there. We're going to supercharge it. Just suck out any of those shadow parasites that might be in the block. That should work. All right, so we are going to do another one. So I'm going to let the pendulum pick again. Make sure you drink your water. Make sure you drink your water. And I'm going to let the pendulum pick. Well, actually, I can replace the throat activation. So I'm just going to let anybody throw it out. So the first one to throw out an intention that's not a subscriber. Lungs, got it. Boom, there you go. Fast on the trigger. It's funny because it said anger and grief is connected. A lot of griefs. Grief is connected to the lungs. Awesome, processed in the lungs. Man, I got stains on all my shirts. Can you see that? God, I literally stained all my sweatshirts are stained. I think that's the universe saying, bro, you wear too many sweatshirts. You wear too many hoodies. All right, yeah, a little bit. I like colors. I'm all about a color. I like colors. It feels nice. Oh, I like the color. All right, let's let the pendulum pick here. Thank you for fire. All right, so the back and shoulders is the one that it picked. Back and shoulders, which is good. So I'm guessing it's kind of like, it's going to be like this, the CT junction area, like cervical, thoracic, and the shoulders there. Where I think a lot of us have issues, especially since we're looking at our phones all the time like this, or we're on our computers and slouched over. It's good for fire, like fire. Oh, I got it. Fire. I got you. I like it. That's fire, dude. That's fire. I dig it. But I love it. I love usernames. I love people. I usually have fun with my usernames. This is like the most vanilla username that I've had. Ty L Heels. And I made it Ty L Heels not because Ty L Heels other people. But I didn't even, I was thinking, oh man, it sounds like I'm here to heal other people. I know it works both ways. It's multidimensional, right? But it's more like Ty L Heals. I'm healing like through it. Ty L Heals. I'm healing, It's like my process of healing, but it works both ways, I guess. So, because I'm not healing anybody else. Everybody's healing themselves. I'm just helping people heal themselves. All right, shoulders. Another back area up there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place the comments to subscriber only while I do the work here. This just helps the energy, trolls and stuff. Obviously what I do looks crazy, so it just kind of helps with the energy. And if you'd like to continue the conversation, you can jump into the subscribers to chat. Just like, don't teach, man, if you don't allow yourself outside. Just like that, bro. Give me that. Just don't teach, man, if you don't allow yourself outside. Just like that, bro. Give me that. I don't know, that sounds cool, Mark. I don't know what it means. It's almost like light language. It's like, what does it mean? I give you that. Uh-oh. I love when I miss the button. It's so funny. Why is it frozen? There you go. All right. Setting to subscriber only. Chat while I do it. All right. Here we go. I'm nutty. I am. Like how my water bottle matches my shirt. I didn't even mean to do that. I just like that color though. My blanket's that color too. Feels good. And my little guy, my little me's up there, that color too. All right, here we go. Shoulders, back. And just reaffirming no harm will be done, no energy will be taken that is not freely given out of love. It will be in alignment for the highest good of all. Only and only those that are meant to receive what is right for them will receive, right? So they're not nobody will receive anything that isn't meant for them. Sound good? Okay. There you go, shoulders. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call in some assistance from Constellation. So I'm going to ask Constellation of Gemini to flow into the shoulders and kind of the neck area, like this whole area here. So those that are open to receive, bring in some healing in that way. We're going to ask Taurus to flow into the neck and throat. And we're going to ask Leo to flow into the back and into the heart. And we're just going to open our hearts, connect heart to heart, really feel into the center of your chest. See light maybe growing in the center of your chest, starting small and getting bigger and bigger. Healing comes from the heart. Just observe what you feel. Don't have any expectations, just kind of see what you experience. Eteri sanderta hasurke se tata ohia fekir porti va piantu pepe non hombado tahu. Reku harta ta manota ni manon kitarete se tu kire chita wari. Paraku tata pata huitu maronda manon kotera ki shitiri shetu hauroha. Ere wari momondoro ku fera ki are. Ara nana na taki orke. Sare tete 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 ipura tete imurko ta peokia. Prendo na mutare na hadara kesu reshna. Kiele le potana na to harake cheshi atukire. Shukuru ke sasafa and demamando de mamaya. I'm gonna call Cancer into the chest area as well, just to help move the energies around it to help release. Because a lot of times our muscles and stuff will overcompensate, so we'll get a lot of tension in the parts around where we're working on. So if you feel like you need to move your body, allow yourself to move your body. Now you can just like stretch it out, whatever, unwind. Don't do anything, you don't force anything. If it happens naturally, allow it. Allow those, like, your muscles may be trying to release things out. So it's just gonna help if you kind of work with it. Lean into whatever sensations you're feeling. So like consciously feel whatever it is you're feeling. It's almost like pressing more of pressing the button on whatever you feel. Like your awareness goes, energy flows, right? So if you feel stuff, place more awareness into it and relax. Don't do anything with any tension. Just relax. Don't run from what you feel is what I'm getting at. Tardo acqua. Parti pa fico na natu e aria. Likutia rossa famborti per enando tu che c'è che che fesse che porta per ondana. Le tu are na nata takiri se are. Surampantia. If you haven't heard me mention it earlier, if you weren't here earlier, I release energy oftentimes through burping or yawning. You may as well. We definitely are storing a lot in those areas, my beautiful friends. It's these devices that we use and all the stress that we're in all the time. We just hold so much in our shoulders. Holding the weight of the world on our shoulders. Like, it's just, it always amazes me. It wasn't always like that either, though. Ita koranda na nanoti pahakide karashu tafiro to barta pakuria. You may feel a rush of heat as things are shifting. And you may get really cold afterwards. It's good. You may feel like you're kind of shivery. Or, why am I so chilly? That's a good sign. All right, we're good. Confirm. Confirm. Come on. All right, cool. You have to let me know how that found, y'all. Turn the comments to everybody again. Puta watia. How come? It's showing on my name, or on my screen, Goddess Girl. I love shows on mine, and thank you for subscribing. I appreciate you. I love you. Absolutely, Chris says shoulders not paining. Beautiful. So calming, very clearing, beautiful. What was that mostly clearing? Yeah, really kind of helping to release whatever's going on in the shoulders and yeah, kind of like that area there, shoulders and neck and upper back area. So it's going to continue to shift and move too. Picked up Annie's burping. Yawning constantly. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, things are still moving. I'm still experiencing things moving on mine. So you might feel a lot shifting. Just give it some time too. Things can take a little moment. There's sometimes what we call time lag. User says that was an incredible experience. Thank you so much. Relieved and relaxed. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing your experience. And thank you for being here. I did feel a little. Yeah, beautiful, Jessica. Give it a sec too, you know. If you don't feel, it doesn't mean that you're not receiving as well. Have the hiccups? Interesting, Samantha. Where's the cream cheese? Hey, I haven't seen you in a while. Hey, here's the cream cheese. I love that name. You're supernatural at that. Yeah, aren't we all? Aren't we all? What is natural anyway? How is this anything outside of natural? We're all supernatural. Burping, good. When my cat stretches, she sticks out her tongue. Reminds me of energy movement when she does it. Yeah, I'm sure she is. She's releasing energy. Yeah, stretching and yawning, that's energy release. Sometimes I do that too. Sometimes I have to release through that. There's frequency in those burps. There it is. There it is. It's multidimensional. Drinking water with gratitude. Yes, me too. Yeah, that's a great I just released a video too. It actually was in my drafts. I was like, oh, I forgot to post this. But drinking water. So we know that when we put energy into our water, right? I mean, I think most people know that water holds memory. So there's been studies like Dr. Emoto did studies with like rice in different containers and would pump different intentions into it. So he would like yell at it and say like mean things to one, you know, speak really nicely and say loving things to another, ignore one, you know, all sorts of stuff. So the one that gets ignored is the one that gets the worst, like it's the nastiest over that period of time. The ones that get all the, get love and attention, positive attention are doing great. The ones that are nasty are doing, nasty things. The ones that are kind of nasty. And the same thing with like ice too, like the way that crystals form through, water crystals will have different patterns to them. And some of them, a neutral one won't have anything really going on, kind of just some bubbles. But if you say really nice things, love into it, it creates these really beautiful patterns because it's crystallizing. And then of course in the mean ways, it does other things. But water, it holds water, right? We're mostly water. Water is liquid crystals, and crystals hold information. It's crystalline matrices. So they hold certain frequencies. Water is beautiful because it can hold many different frequencies. So placing your intention of love into your water is just a really simple thing that I think everybody should do before you drink anything, is just put in your love. You can do it in whatever way works for you. You can see your heart getting bright and just blast into your drink. You can just tell it, I love you, I thank you, I love you. You can set certain intentions before you do it. You can put certain energies into it, because once you drink it, you're drinking that program too. So it can pick up on other people's stuff. So like if it's from a store, and that's, like a convenience store, that is going to be picking up on energies from all over the place. The people that shipped it, the people that created it, made it, whatever, the deliveries, the people that put it on the shelves. They can pick up all these energies, and who knows what was going on, right? So clearing it with your intentions and your heart space, and then putting your own intentions into it is very powerful. But at the same time, also, what makes it even more powerful, thank you, Juanita, for resubscribing, is to think it while you drink it as well. So think, I love you, thank you, or this is gonna make me feel joyful. This is like joy, 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 peace, peace, peace. And it's gonna be an even stronger program. Does it carry the same energy if you love being in the water? What do you mean by that, Goddess Girl? Oh, actually, hold on, I can do this real quick. Where is, oh, I can't search though? Oh, I can't search for people. Hold on, sorry, bear with me 1 second. There we go. Oops. I don't know, I'm having some errors, I don't know. Okay. What the heck? I'll have to figure that out later. So does it carry the same energy if you love being in the water? I'm not sure I understand. Being in the water is my happy place. Does it have the same energy as drinking it? Oh, well, I mean, water feels great. I mean, water's great and very cleansing. But yeah, you can program the water that you're in, right? Like if you're in a swimming pool, opening up your heart, doing energy work in the swimming pool, you can program that water or before you go into it. But also like if you're like going into the ocean, for example, that's very healing because the salt in it is very cleansing. But yeah, I mean, even just, it's a very cleansing process. It's meant to be cleansing, right? So moving water is going to be cleansing. It's all those minerals that are moving. It's living water. So it's a really powerful tool. Yeah, you can visually see it, etheric mycelium. Yeah, you can see the way that it influences the water visually even, Kelcorp asked, remind us which stone re-energizes your water when you set it on top of, say, a holder of the mineral. So a lot of stones can energize your water. The stones that I like to use with my water is, I like to use shungite to clear it. So shungite is a very powerful mineral that has these certain structures in it. The balls or fullerenes. It's a truncated icosahedron, and what those do is they attenuate negative frequencies. So a negative frequency is a frequency that rotates its spin, is energy spin is counterclockwise. So it pulls energy away. Positive would be clockwise. So these structures actually attenuate, meaning that it flips it, it takes that counterclockwise spin and makes it a clockwise spin. Thank you, Kelkor. But it also makes the water more bioavailable too. So your body can actually absorb more of that, of the water to be used in the right ways. To charge it, you can use a lot of different crystals. So it really depends. Certain crystals are good for certain intentions, right? Like rose quartz is great for kind of the heart frequencies, love frequencies. That's what it's known for. A lot of times people don't recognize you can actually program a lot of crystals to do a lot of things. So even just because it's well known for a certain intention doesn't mean that you can't reprogram that crystal. I like selenite a lot because selenite has a really, well, feldspar or whatever it is, but this guy, this white one that you see all over the place, it's pretty affordable. That's all, you can get it all over the place. That's often referred to as selenite, but actual selenite is kind of clear. Like actual selenite, they used to make like windows out of back in the day, like in medieval times, like in churches. Some churches still have selenite windows, but it's still, this is very, very high frequency at the same time, very good, clean, white light. And then I got a little rose quartz that I always keep in it. But this will charge and clear as well. So that's why I like to have a little bowl. And you can put your jewelry in it. You can put whatever you want and just put it on there. What I also do with it, So what I do is I put it on some shungite as well. So I've got a shungite, I got a whole bunch of these like coasters, and you can use them for all sorts of stuff. You can put your water and your drinks on it, but I like to put both of these on there. So I've got the shungite with, I've got the light in the dark, you know, it helps, it just feels good. I don't know, it feels good. It clears stuff, I like it. I love rose quartz though too, it's my favorite. Hi Mel, hi buddy. How you doing? He was throwing a fit. It was really stormy, really windy, and he was throwing a fit earlier. He was acting like he used to when he wasn't allowed outside, but like messing with all the blinds and messing stuff up. I sleep with a chunk of selenite by my head. Beautiful. I do too. I have a little plate that goes underneath my my pillow. Where's my, oh shoot. Oh, you know what? I just moved them. I have these little rubber, they're actually silicone, I think. Silicone with shungite powder and silver powder in it, and it actually creates a really nice healing field. I sleep with those underneath my pillow. You can get those at mysticalwares.com. Oh, and before I forget, Spirit is asking me to to try to pitch it. So if you benefit from it, I don't like to try to do sales pitches or anything, but if you're interested in getting personalized transmissions, so if you would like a pre-recorded transmission, I have a sale right now. It just makes me, it's like cringy to say, but you're welcome to take a look in the link in my bio and see what I offer there. If you don't want them posted on TikTok, or you do want them posted on TikTok, let me know, reach out to me. So it's like very similar to a lot of the transmissions you'll see on my page, but you'll get one personally encoded for you. And you can choose like the music, there's one for music, so you can choose a 1 minute long one where it's coded to music, or you can do the ones that is both vocal and signing. But they're powerful because you can use them over and over and over again, and it can go deeper and deeper into whatever intentions you have, or you can hold it in something in your awareness while you play it, and it'll go towards that intention. But they're really designed to meet you where you're at in the moment that you're at. So it's whatever's for your highest good at that time, but you can use it in so many different ways. It's very multidimensional in that way. If you're interested in that, a link in my bio for that. Well, yeah, and like Ginger says, I'm ready for a full frequency upgrade. I offer frequency upgrades as well. That's one-on-ones. I offer one-on-ones. So I love working on healing, but what I specialize in is helping people to integrate and embody their highest self. So that looks like what I would call a frequency upgrade. And that's like, we hit it from all angles. It's kind of like the chef's special is what I call it, because we use all of our different tools, and it's guided by your highest self. So we let the higher selves kind of move us through the process, and so we can authentically get you to whatever that next level looks like for you. But yeah, so if you're interested in that, that's something I do. But I also do healings too. So just like organic healings, if there's something that you want to focus on, an organic session's a good option for you. And also coaching, I like to call it coaching or mentorship, but those are options as well, which if you're more interested in like asking questions and maybe learning how to do things, or you want to share some stuff and get my feedback, whatever you want. If you do that one, I would recommend to bring a number of questions too, so you can kind of get the ball rolling. We'll start it with like an activation, like a healing activation. Opens up the channels, brings through whatever your highest self wants to bring through for that session to assist, and then we jump into whatever comes through for you, whatever you want to focus on. All right, pitch over. All in divine timing, Sherry. All right, let's do this. Let's do another one. Do another one here. See what picks here. All right, that's a good one. Release. I'll put these on there next time, Mandy. I'll put that on there. I think I already have it. Nope, I didn't have it. Okay. So that's on there for next time though, Mandy. What we're doing now is release, which is good for everybody. Tauka. What are you doing, Mal? What are you doing, bud? What What are you doing? Oh, he's all looking at the room. It's funny whenever I do like energy work or I go on a live or I'm doing my stuff. He's like looking at stuff in the room, like he's on duty. Boop, boop, boop. You wanna say hi? Come here. Wow. You say hi, big baby, big baby. Okay. Look, I got him a little like GPS tracker thing, or it's not a GPS tracker. That's what I was kind of bummed out about. Is that it's like a little thing that will like where I can know where he's at. It shows like on your like Find My phone or whatever, Find My iPhone or whatever. But the problem is that in my neighborhood nobody has iPhone, so it has to be. It only gets pinged when it's near somebody else that has an iPhone, and I think everybody in my area has Androids. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. Yeah, it's like those. I also got AirTags, but this one's something specific. This one is just like, I don't know, it's something I called a yip or something. Oh, awesome, Jenna. Christine did a part, my part, past life. I'm guessing at reading, healing. Told me about you. I'm ready to level up. Awesome. Yeah, you can book a time that's available for you or good for you in the link in my bio. So you can do that in there. What are you doing, you weirdo? You know you're acting funny. You're acting funny. You're acting so funny. All right. You want to sit on my lap for this? This is going to be released. I don't know if you want to be sitting on my lap for this one, buddy. Okay. All right. Don't you claw me, though. He starts to go, like, when the energy starts to move through. All right. Just reaffirming no harm will be done. No energy will be taken that is not freely given out of love. It will be in alignment for the highest good of all only, and only those that are meant to receive what is meant for them will receive. So nobody will receive anything that isn't in alignment for their highest good, and their highest self does not want them to receive. So our intention is release. Release. No claws, buddy. I feel that. All right, release. Taruka fema. Kipu hafura tafira kansura ke praia kuti vetu reisuria. Kurenda tatatoki kipe sati karanti nankusia. Raba hatura umara me hata yarki. Kiti wetu tapasi natatu tokara kire shatusa. Say, okay, so bring something up in your awareness that you want to release. It can be anything. Bring it up in your awareness, set the intention, I would like to release this. If you don't have anything specific, that's totally cool too. Hi, buddy. I wish you could see his way he's looking at me. My heart. All right, buddy, I'm going to have to move you, though, because I have to go through my route. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry. Cuddle later. Ra tu kukue kere grasar kai te pia kurika sa ta te ki muatari te kuri tu tau fe kanamata prak ti pia kukari turro te pia tu por que te por que per te pe kor por que te por que te semra ko te per que ki mo ki por que te yo sagri por que mar ko par ko pe por que mar ko pe ro mo te que par que per que na sa ki por que na ko te per que no sagri por que mar que pe no te per sagri ni que I can't do that, guys. Come on. Alright, you just do it energetically because my throat doesn't do that.
Lera nanu kar kurki fiknin sarka wa lechi ala yeten klekli klak 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 me heti klak 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 me kala le kota lu kala ya le kala nan bata ara kita ese ke le la hatera nang de boki per tapi karu tam kete per tapi per kata engke pe pe ham te per kota per koti per tapi yang guta atar jira hare na hatu ke fer nanto jira nanto tanamat charte tu tau fare Maria. There's a lot wanting to be released from the solar plexus area, a lot of fear, a lot of anger, guilt, shame, doubt. Dia cari. Caramba. If you're feeling emotions come up, I encourage you to honor them. Para na Dark. Tanima. Not so much, please. Okay, thank you. Shut the door. Carite pasota, tarte, masati pasha, tu kishi, tu kisse mantaur. Ratema, regnania jartes. Tafet. Tare tu. Keep Debranan, keep the shit, and this correct. Pare no marco haruko pe. Lari te teka sari te pepe nita ni botari te fekaro. Rita ninta na tana. Chiri te tana ta ukri. Pera te mashira. Li would isir shibwa. Li fia mara goe. Rika mari initiate. Hu wa. Luku kuwa mana. Te se shua. Lu asti nasti ta. Seri lekro. Kada para maharakai. Liru hasilu ki fai singa. Laknina. Kiri tush ayat. Te ayat anukare. Kiri taro kafarana. Bekre ku fikre shana te. Fikre sena tarasari koriki fia yo. Liru para na kurki fisa para. Puchu rimpanzona. Kiri puafaka la krai tuki. Likre stoi sema. Kiri te ematari shekra sefa heti ni misiara. Kruka ja kieshere te me. Raturi be furna. Imatura me creso. E ora no Mario. Tu kiesi. Ja, dan. Te banani to.
Confirm. Confirm. Move on. Alright. Yeehaw. Let me know how that found you. And thank y'all for helping to explain a little bit about what's going on when I'm doing what I'm doing. Happy to answer questions too. Yeah, I would definitely make sure you drink some water, especially over the next couple days too, because it can come out. Release can happen. It can happen right now, but it can also release slowly over time as well. Kung Fu Godzilla said, "I just cried my face off." Congratulations, that's huge. Huge amount of release, so that's beautiful. Major burning in the heart space. Lean into it, sis. You know, you are glowing. You're glowing too. Thank you for sharing, Carrie. The Antina says, so calm right now. Thank you. Thank you. Goddess Girl says, love you, sleep well. How did you learn this practice? So it gets activated. So it's something that's remembered. I know it's kind of a tricky thing. It's a weird thing to try to explain, but it's something that gets remembered, and it's just something that's like activated within you. And there's many different aspects to it. I'm trying not to use that word because I was literally just going to say, because when you integrate more aspects of yourself, you can get different types of things that come through too. So it gets, through healing, it gets activated within you, and or you can get activated by someone else. Watching this sometimes activates people. You know, I'm known to activate others. Felt release in the stomach. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing, Jama. I always tingle over my body. This is the second time I've done your live. Thank you for sharing, baby girl. Boda. It's a great sign. Can I speak Lyran? I express my own dialect of Lyran. Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely would be considered that. Thank you, Etheric. Mine are usually mixed. So I express my own, I mix mine up. So even if they sound really much, they're a lot like Lyran or Lemurian or Syrian or whatever kind of like general labels you want to kind of put it on, I mix them up because it's my own soul expression of them. So, but yeah, I definitely have a really heavy Lyran influence for a number of reasons. Some that some people may be aware of, or maybe not yet as well, but a lot of us have connections with Lyra. You know, I think, you know, I mean, we all do. In truth, we all have connections with Lyra, but a lot of us here have some really. I don't want to call it history because it doesn't exist outside of time, but like we've got some deep history. I'm so glad you're here too, Sassy. I'm glad that you jumped over on our side as well. So I'm glad. Yeah, Blue Bodhi is amazing. Jenna, all in divine timing. It's always in divine timing. When it's meant to happen, it'll happen. And again, like sessions they're not needed per se. You have everything that you need within you. You know, everything. But you know what's interesting is that we design certain experiences in certain ways so we can meet other people, we can make connections. Like I know that there's certain things that I should have been able to heal myself because I get really frustrated when I don't heal something myself. Roots and boots, I love it. Yeah, Arcturian for sure. I love that, roots and boots. I love you, Ginger. But, what was I saying? You made me forget. What was I talking about? Shit. Oh yeah, we move, you know, like there's things I wanted to heal. Like I thought that I should heal myself. I'm like, okay, I don't know why I'm not able to heal this. I get really freaking frustrated. But then after I'm like, okay, well, I got to go try to figure this out. And so I would go to different people. I would connect in different ways, go to see this healer or that healer. And through that, make these really powerful connections that I still have to this day. Like it's like, oh, that was driving me to go further, to search deeper, to go more, you know, continue looking, you know, and so those things, you know, just follow, go with the flow. You know, it's hard. The human has a hard time with going with the flow. We are like so programmed to think that we have to like force things to work. We have to work hard to get things that we want. And I'm deprogramming myself as well. Just because I know how things work doesn't mean I apply it all the time, right? Like, there's some people that know a whole lot about basketball, but they're not going to be in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? They can't dunk. Like, you can be one of the best coaches in the world and not have ever played basketball, and vice versa. You can be one of the best basketball players in the world and not know how to coach basketball. So, yeah, just keep that in mind as well. Yeah, Lisa, not feeling loved, that is the game to get into. That you already know that self-love is where it's at, and once we find self-love, everything else falls into place. But can it be a tough one? Don Taylor asks, are you able to activate just anyone? I could. If it's in alignment for their highest good, I always set that parameter. But for some people, in order to activate them in certain ways that they would want, sometimes it takes some healing to get there. So that's why I don't I don't offer specific activations on like lives and stuff, because for some people to authentically get them to that activation, I might have to clear a bunch of trauma, and it might take an hour. Like there might be so much stuff that's blocking them from being able to bring through that activation. So yes, I can, but it's up to the individual in the big picture. There's always going to be purpose in it, whatever happens. Rhonda says, hi, first time making it to your live after meeting you through Bodhi. How are you? I'm glorious. How are you, Rhonda? Thank you for jumping over and expressing that and jumping on our live. Blue Bodhi's amazing, so we're honored to have you here. Welcome home. I live on a really loud street. Like, I don't know why everybody's a race car here. So Hope You Love asked, how long does it take for an activation to kick in after it's done? It really depends. Sometimes it's immediate. Sometimes it can come through over the next days. Sometimes people get activated and they don't realize they're activated yet until it just kind of like they start to express it. So that happens a lot. Like I'll activate people without even intending to do so, and it'll all of a sudden just pop up when they're in the car or something, like listening to music. Their signing will come on, or their vocalizations will come out. But you can be activated in a whole bunch of different things. And remember, the way that I articulate activations is like a remembrance. It's triggering something. It's activating something that's already inside of you. It's triggering a remembrance of some sort. So you can get all sorts of things activated. You can have memories activated. You can have your other gifts activated. And also what happens a lot of times is upgrades. You may already be activated and don't recognize that you're activated until you receive an upgrade. And once you receive an upgrade, that's just like boosting what's already going on. So you may have activated something that you don't know you activated, but you're not expressing it until it gets stronger. And then it gets stronger, and then you can't deny it anymore. You know what I mean? I feel like that car going by. That's funny, Debbie. I had to get that. Thank you for expressing that, Mrs. Singing Cowboy. I'm glad to have you over here on our side. Welcome home. Yeah, Blue Bodhi's amazing. Don Taylor says, do you recommend a good meditation to listen to? A favorite, perhaps? I like to mix it up. It depends on what I'm doing, so it really depends. I like to, if I'm listening to meditation, when I sleep, it's usually to astral project. So I'll do like theta. I'll do a lot like pure theta frequencies. And if I'm not successful astral projecting, which I haven't been in a long time, I will like consciously astral projecting. I'll have lucid dreams afterwards. But if not, I like to put on just like affirmations. A really cool library to go to. So if you're not familiar with Star Magic, so Jerry Sargent he's a founder for Star Magic, and Star Magic is it's not a particular modality, but it's a whole bunch of stuff wrapped into one. But they've got a really awesome meditation library. So I would recommend their Infinity, like it's a subscription, but there's tons of good meditations in there. So I would recommend that. That's what I would use I had used in the past. But it really depends. It depends on what I'm trying to do. I keep hearing, remember who you are in my head. Beautiful, Danny. Yes, that's the key. That's the answer to it all. What age? I saw that somebody asked a question. What age did I recognize my gift stuff? I honestly don't know. It's something that I've kind of. It's been an evolution. I've known that I was intuitive. I've known like I know I was like my stuff was coming on super strong, like in 2015, where I was like I wanted to turn it all off, and I wasn't really doing any kind of spiritual practices. It was just so intense, and like I could feel everybody's emotions. I could feel anytime somebody thought about me. I could feel when people thought of negative stuff about me. It was like it turned on to like 10 really fast, like my empathic stuff, and it was really overwhelming. So I remember wanting to turn it off, and I think I was kind of hitting the snooze button back and forth. I was really trying to suppress it. It was creating a lot of pain in me because I wasn't in alignment, so it was making things really intense. But I started to really do stuff in probably 2010. So I would have been 24 or something like that. But I mean, stuff has always been around. You know, like I was always, I don't know. Honestly, I don't really know. But yeah, they're definitely not like a lot of people out there. A lot of people have had their awareness of their gifts their whole life. You know, I definitely wasn't like that. I was not aware of all this stuff at all until much later, much later. So was opening my own Bedford action. So I'm sorry, hope you love. I'm trying to read this. So was opening my own bed before activation was question if it's going to get stronger now. You may, if you had an activation before, yeah, you whatever happens may get stronger. It depends. We weren't focusing specifically on upgrades. Oops. But anything is possible. Was I able to balance it out? Love is the answer. Yeah. I mean, I still feel everything, but I didn't have the grounding and understanding to really manage it. I thought, I didn't know anybody else who was like that, so I felt really alone. And so I really wanted to turn it off. So like I was like, it was really overwhelming, and everybody in my reality at the time was not at all awake at all. Like it was really painful. I remember going to parties all the time and being like tuning into people and like being just so overwhelmed of all that I could feel and feeling just so alone because nobody else was really on that page. Not that I was, figured things out or better or anything like that. It was just like I felt really alone because people were so caught up in like 3D stuff. I remember in 2012, like in December 2012, when everybody's expecting stuff to go on, they were, I remember very vividly people being so 3D, and I was just like felt so alone. I was like, man. So I know it's been a while. It's been a hot minute. Joybird says, what's your thoughts on dragons visiting in dreams with language such as yours? Yeah, the dragons are beautiful. We all have our own little dragons. We all have our individual dragons are diverse. That's what's important to recognize. So some of us are we have dragon aspects, and there's different types of dragons. Some really big types that are as big as like a universe, like a solar system, maybe. I was kind of exaggerating. Maybe there is, I don't know. And then there's ones that are kind of more like pets, like cats and dogs, and so many different types. But yeah, if they're speaking languages, so like if you hear one of them is like, that's one of my dragon aspects that comes through. But if they're coming through speaking light language, that's how a lot of them will speak light language in that. So it's beautiful. Lean into it, follow your feels. Just incredible asked, generally curious, do you believe in God / Jesus? No. I know. I know. So I don't need to believe, right? So I know it's all there, It depends on how you're defining God and Jesus, but I don't believe in limitations. So I believe whatever that you believe is available to you. So yeah, in that sense, I believe as much as you believe. My perspective of how I would identify what God is maybe different than some people, right? Maybe in the context of what you're asking, and I would perceive it a little bit different. I think that we're all God trying to figure itself out in countless possible perspectives. God is ineffable. It's impossible to actually comprehend. We can't even comprehend like certain dimensions from our perspective. So we can't possibly comprehend God in any, whatever context it is. It's just impossible. We can barely understand some of the multidimensional versions of ourselves that come through. You literally can't imagine it in this reality. experiment with that powerful chemical that rhymes with BMT, and you will see that really quickly. And the same thing, but also with you asked about Jesus, right? Well, I perceive that there absolutely is that character that the religious folks perceive. There is the exact version that they perceive, right? So the one that was on the cross and died for the sins, whatever, that exists. That's not the version that I know, though. The version that I know is an embodiment of Christ consciousness, which we would consider 12D and above. But I would recognize him as Yeshua, just a different frequency. And there's a number of different aspects of that played out. But yeah, they're beautiful being. He's a beautiful soul, and a beautiful expression, and here to help us remember who we are. That's what I believe the teachings were all about, was not, worship me, but remember, you are like me, you are me. We are all divine, and we all can carry Christ consciousness. The human templates are very special. We were very lucky race, species, whatever you want to identify it as. We're like a mashup of some amazing different sets of data, DNA. Which part of space am I from? Part that doesn't exist in this reality. From a different octave. A different octave. Hope you says I got a full activation from a fellow light language portal 2 days ago. Congratulations. D. Miller asked, can you recommend any literature on this topic, please? Which topic? On all that is? Nah, that's, like what I was just talking about as far as kind of those religious perspectives. Not really, because it's intergnosis. It's something that we all learn from our own perspective. So that's just my perspective, right? That's not something, if somebody else has a similar perspective, that's awesome. But it's not really something that I would recommend to learn from other people. I think this is something that you're going to cultivate for yourself through your own experiences, because that's, from my perspective, that's how it is. That's how it works. There is literally no other anything that is looking from the same perspective as you are right now. There's no, from the perspective of the experiences that you've had, literally where you're sitting in time and space, what you're looking at right now, what you're thinking in that moment, nothing is ever the same. So we're all like these different perspectives of everything that is, and it's just crazier than we can ever imagine. That's how I perceive it, at least. And as far as these characters that have played really beautiful roles for us in our human history and our collective history, there's going to be different perspectives on that as well. And they're all valid, I don't invalidate any of them. So, yeah. I know it sounds like a cop-out, but that's what I truly believe. Jessica Sparks says, I'm still burping. Is that normal? Yep, you're releasing. Let it out. Let it rip. It's a great sign. Okay. All right, I'll do one. Actually, I'll just make it be more general. So I'll probably be getting off here after my next transmission. Gemini Mama asked, do you do any Akashic Records readings? No, that's definitely not my forte. So I don't do readings. There's people that are really, a lot better for that than I am. Most of my gifts at this time are output. So I'm mostly output at this time. My team, my aspects really kind of like encourage me to let go of any kind of stories. The way that I do my work, it's like I'm like a laser beam towards whatever intentions that you set, because the stories can really pull us back. They can really slow us down a lot of times. We can get attached to them too. So they encourage me to not worry about that stuff too much. Doesn't mean that I don't get information. I still get information and downloads, and if it's relevant and all sorts of stuff. But as far as reading goes, if you want to get specific information, that's not really my forte. And that's just the way that I've been trained to do the work that I do. It'll change eventually. But yeah, there's a lot of really amazing people that are good at that stuff. I'm actually, on that topic, I am planning to do an event next month with Moni, who is Lemuria Healing on TikTok, who does Akashic record readings. So Lemuria Healing on TikTok, he does, he's great at that. Thank you, Erica. But there's a lot of people. I mean, there's some people in here that could do a great job. I don't know if they want shout outs or not, or they offer that, but there's a lot of beautiful beings that do great readings. So I'll let the experts do that. I focus on what I'm good at and what I'm in, I specialize in, and let people be guided to people who are better than I am. The Akashic isn't a place you go, it's a place within you. Yeah. What's interesting about the Akashic, it's only one database. There's other databases. There's, depending on what you have access to, you may have different databases as well. But before we jump in to, Justin asked, is it the same as past life regressions? Past life regressions usually is people are tuning into the Akashic records for that. Some people are good at tuning into other databases as well, but I think they have to have also had access to a certain level of, access to certain conscious, I'll just say DNA. I don't know how to phrase that. Certain people have certain access to certain things. So I have access to a lot of different things that I can help people connect with more of themselves from, that some people wouldn't have access to just because of who I am. That's hard to explain, but it just depends. Melissa Hilbert asked, where can I learn about the other databases that exist? I don't know. I don't ever hear people talk about it too much. But again, because there's not a ton of beings that are yet expressing their remembrances of other, you would call it universal systems, coming from other universes. So some people consider themselves more of like a star seed, right? So the perspective in which they're coming into this reality comes from another star system or another planet, things like that. And in the same way, some people's perspectives is coming from a different universal structure or from a different octave of experience. And there's a lot of us, but we just don't necessarily recognize it in that way because it's not something that's talked about a lot. But there's a lot of I would recommend to do it on your own, dive into it. Like, that's the thing, is like, you want to go get stuff for you, that it becomes an inner gnosis. I mean, everything around us, we're going to search for information and different things, but you're still going to run it through your filters. Does this feel right for me? Does this resonate with me? And follow that feeling, because that's going to guide you to remembering for yourself and getting the information for yourself. But it's always helpful. I mean, that's what I do. I get help from a lot of people. I wish there was a book. I wish there was a lot of people ask me about, what book for this or that. I'm like, or where to get information for this and that. I'm like, I don't know. I would love to find out, though. So if you find out, let me know. Moon, let's go. Moon, she asked, do I have to heal first before I can start healing others? We're all healing. I would highly recommend to make sure that we are in a place where we are grounded and cleared. We're always going to be healing. So I'm not fully healed, by any means. So, and I can heal other people, but it took me a long time to feel confident enough, and I had to get pushed out by spirit to actually do it more. So I was like, well, no, I thought I had to be healed to do it, and most of us aren't, like, we're all going through our own struggles. So we always have more healing to do, but there is a certain level of understanding and experience that I would recommend to have before working with other people, because it can be dangerous for yourself and other people. There's a lot of things that people aren't quite aware of, and I'm always learning and remembering more too. So it's a process, it's a journey, right? Everybody's different, but yeah, so you don't have to be, but whatever you do, you decide to do, there's going to be a lesson in it. So if you think that you're ready to start healing and you're not ready, you're going to find out if you are or not through your own experiences. So follow your feels and, trust your heart. Oh, thank you for subscribing, Erica. Thank you, Erica Lauren. Yeah, I was really tempted to start healing people publicly because of a lot of different reasons. And one of them was that. But I got pushed out by spirit, so they're like, no, you are ready, you better do it. I'm like, no, I don't think that. And finally it's like, catalyst. Oh, you got to do it now. It's like, oh, okay. All right. Will I be teaming up with the Blue Bodhi again? Yes, I'm sure I will at some point if she's open to it, of course. And also, so I'm gonna do another transmission here in a moment. Before I do that, if you're interested in getting a personalized transmission, that's something that I offer. So if you would like a personally encoded transmission that's pre-recorded that you can watch over and over and over again, and it'll have a unique effect each time. It'll go deeper and deeper in whatever intentions you set. You can do that through the link in my bio. I offer one-on-ones as well. I specialize in helping people embody their highest self, whatever that looks like for them. So essentially higher self-integration. But what that looks like is a lot of healing, obviously, because it's shifting out things that you're not to be more of who you are. So there's a lot of healing and clearing and upgrading energetic systems, things like that. I also do activations, upgrades through that as well. I offer organic healing sessions. So if you have something specific that you want to work on, or a number of things that you want to just focus on healing, that's a good option as well. I offer just straight to business. If there's something really specific that you want to work on, we can just focus on that. Just go ham on that. All sorts of things are possible. So if you're interested at all, you have any questions, you can also just shoot me a message. Like, you can ask me about whatever. Like, it's totally cool. If I have time, I'm going to answer it. Trust me, I will. When I probably should be doing other things, but I love answering questions. I love to jab, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so if you're interested in that stuff, all that stuff's in the link in my bio, or tai-el.com, which will send you there. I'm almost done with my website, which will have a lot of cool stuff on it. So I had so many different errors, and the universe was just breaking things on me left and right, but now it's all cruising. So I'm like, okay, a few more days, I feel like, working on it here and there. So lots of cool stuff that'll be offered through that. So anyway, that's my spiel. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. You know how it works. Thank you so much to the subscribers. So the last thing we're going to do here is we're just going to let whatever comes through. So not whatever comes through. Whatever your highest self has designed for you, whatever is going to benefit you most in this now moment is what's going to be received. But I also invite you to hold an intention in your awareness, because this stuff is very multidimensional. So you can hold a specific intention. If there's somewhere on your body you would like healing, place your awareness in that area. Bring something up in your awareness, your mind, if you would like that intention to go towards that. Be part of the process. We're just going to reaffirm no harm will be done, no energy will be taken that is not freely given out of love. It'll be in alignment for the highest good of all only, and you'll only receive what's meant for you. So anybody that's not, it's not meant to receive what's coming through, they won't receive, right? So we're not going to force anything on anybody. All right. Sutati mon saratatatatati kire kire tar shotar shuharja satamasa. Shutu pasre teta suri tarento satatatati ke pe kurutafi multa wa ha niti. Rekuta fekra pufe ndote pargene. Kira tuta fekra kara surja tu fer tu tamuta. Pe kurita sia. Per non para haru ke fra hakai per moduma. Rina notari per Tietu karta se sytti pahrakkene haki. Rähtuka fiekura papua. Renno givorokete di otak di market partapa di runkit partapa. Rikeno muti partapa ura kurkiren sadet petiar kiti muti partapa kuti partapa. Para kumanti partapa to parakota apa. Kamentari notati. Kiu ashur pasara da amorna ya. Lekara tu safren sonento. Ruta fe cantum, rendo tapato, manda tu vero, tu ca, sora niente ricecre, nanto tati por. Che era cota ucrai. Che è toccando.
talo karuki piraki. Lekran ko tau kuilo ki leksi pukas. Gatto tani ki talo tau ikde do pueto itu gindo bande do kuekre ningor temo tani kan nukra. Tingor ke. Tengo que no te recuerdo secca, ninna, che rischini tangre, ninsa, non mare, non so. Tiri, ningre, secco, ranzo, nani, migre, nixo, nano, tamba, nano. Tarafano, mani, che ne tassetere, ma cui parte, tu pa, caccia, amore. Che puttau, tu pari, differe. Caglia, culeto, che colato. Dietro, che voglio, e poi ik enak elokalo elok Fernando ane tai nai tai salo tampo koro tori pari kita ke malata de TV le ti wak ni pe pai wa lu ka wa la wak me po el le crimo che pare ne ko mo io le pero de pon moteo de nuevo ero con il libro va la tinto per i libri che non libro dai vuoi per che lo cosme che non te preoccupare di parte non di sotti rondere e sare reton bon sarà hasur he por i siati den di shehra rendo de wa sur pe afro mo kurka yer tipa rendo de bu harjin mo kiri ora standanda do ki bara do ki bara ki bu ki bumber mani baramba mi putavro più renda Chico, pipi pero pauro, dopo con molti perché pegano dopo cucco con i parenti, poco non come dai. Recco di perché da buon non potete per niente per pucano, perché per cosa vorrei un mezzo bico, nati. Chico te piccola mato, non hai to eso ripuare. E tu tarda via. E da ya, ne mal. Io e ai lui. E tu pari, ne le tu tap crai crijan tiri baru bau per papuaru miniru pau fossa leta la sua toma le paleta ya li pe jele lo yo sa pa je te sia le sia tu passo le paru no mani il mio ancora fa corre ieri taro bar to bello mundi perché pasco pepa tiupio ये पर Ciao, si correnda, recorrenda parando la cara in correnda poco girati. Allora, Paolo, e per un imprendo, che fata le plevo, non mi vuoi con io non mi detto. Guarda comunque di fare i toccavo tu beh no la guarda sì però comunque si prende però tutti più hot e fatto niente per andare su io pipo non dovrà piccolo di parco e tanto io to piccolo lo potamo ancora sì che da non mi Jari tamboja tungi. Puolen varmaan sortaa we. Pasto. Tau. Marana. Peta vale. Lela nano nano. Lera kare talu kelima. Lela nanta lele kuye lelishat. Prando gratia. Raro nina rayarta yo. Rando rena reya tayo. Te brayo kaya tayo toto. Te tarana. Le tarando nanamiare. Era nambotare nira nina. Era nantara namboratu. Levaranta maranante be. Deva imona. Baby bois. Tuba. Te bois. Te bois. Te bois. Te bois. Ta bois. Te bois. Te ma. Te bois. Shekala tuana. Tatiwe surato me. Le dono tare kire. Kiru sari. Ki pranto tanmosa. Antonami punkte. Tasu tai sidoku. Tok matana. You're all set. Confirm. Confirm. Go on. All right. Wee. Horta nienta nanta. Seems like believing in Reiki. Something like that. Hey, Borka. Taringata. A lot of that was for addiction. Well, if it was for you, then yeah, it was for addiction. I mean, if that's what your intentions were, it's what you needed to. It's my pleasure, Ginger. Singing energy. Did they sing? I don't remember singing. You know what's funny? So who said Kung Fu Zilla? You should make a track. Actually, there's been people that want me to send some light language to people, to producers and stuff. And there's other people that want to make music with it, or like I want to also work with people to put some codes into songs. Like it doesn't have to. I mean, I'm not going to be good at singing it or anything like that, but it's about the energy, right? You're most welcome. Love is the answer. Melissa asks, how do you feel when it's happening? Are you seeing things in other dimensions? No, I don't see. So for me, it's mostly about allowing what needs to come through. It's just, there's so much energy and there's so much physical processing that I'm usually mostly like just, not worried, but I'm like focusing on like where I'm like just making sure that I hold my shit together. I mean, like really, because the energies are really strong and powerful that move through. So it's mostly just about like going along for the ride in a lot of ways. But it's kind of hard to explain what I experience. Rahanda says, for a second I thought I heard you say my name during it. Was I just making it up in my head? Nah, you heard what you're supposed to hear.
I wouldn't doubt it, Rhonda. Definitely possible. Star Phoenix Riser says, Ty. Oh, well, thank you, I'm assuming. I got chills on my thighs and feel electricity like pins in my hands. Beautiful. Yeah, that's the energies. That was a beautiful transmission, Borka says. I felt the unconditional love and sweetness. Aw, good. The R2D2 makes me smile. Beep boop bop. Beep boop boop bop. Beep boop beep bop. Tie-Dye Dragon says, my dog came running into the room when you started. That happens. They like it. The animals like it. Thank you, Star Phoenix. The Raspberry Phoenix. Oh, look, there's got a number of phoenixes in here. And hey, look, we're all as phoenixes together. For me, the fact that you connect to so deep, you get your eyes rolling back into REM movement. Yeah, so my eyes do a lot of different things. They do a bunch of things. Some people that freaks some people out, but yeah, sometimes it's because I'm bringing energy in. I actually have a video that I need to publish soon. I'm gonna do another recording where I have EEGs, and an EEG showing what it does when you place your awareness with your eyes to different points. So there's reasons why meditators, like in India and stuff, like people that really are going deep into meditation will roll their eyes up and look at either their third eye or their crown, because there's physiological things that take place. So there's things that happen with my brainwave states when I do that. So I can get even into like a meditative state instantly by placing my awareness up towards my third eye. When you see me do that, instantly changes my brainwave states and changes my overall energies. I can get my whole brain vibrating at the same time and go into gamma and ultra gamma. So there's different, there's functionality to it. And sometimes it's not that I'm doing that. Sometimes I'm connecting with energies that are in my sphere. It's hard to describe, but they're aspects there. So it's like I'm connecting to like the energies or the constellations or the bodies, the cosmic bodies. All sorts of things are possible. Jin says, I was so anxious, now I'm relaxed and tired. Congratulations, I'm so glad that it assisted. It's my pleasure to assist. Our pleasure. Can you explain it better? Yes, that's what I love about being here. You're living proof. Oh, good, that it is real. This is real. Good, yeah, I mean, it's so intense on my end that there's not a single doubt in my mind at all that it's real. And I've worked on hundreds and hundreds of people, if not thousands of people at this point. Well, depending if you count lives or not, then it's definitely thousands of people. But I've done it enough that I know that things are going to work. It's just about getting there. I know that I can do things. It's just about, sometimes it's a little bit of a puzzle piece where I have to learn something new or whatever. But there's not a doubt in my mind that it's real. Like, it's so strong that's why I want to work with, doctors, and I want to work with science to help them better understand it. Because it's so physical for me that there's no hiding it from science. Like, I've been hospitalized a number of times and for what I go through. And of course the doctors didn't know what was happening at the time. I didn't know what was happening at the time, but the energies would move through me and they're so intense that they didn't know what to do. And so they hooked me up to all these different machines and my brain waves were going all over the place and they didn't know what the hell was going on. So it's measurable. But like having the context of the knowing that these things, where they're actually coming from, can help bridge that gap in understanding, right? Like, Western medicine isn't the enemy. They just need to get their shit together. And we can help them. Like, we should be on the same team. We need both sides, right? So I'm working with a doctor right now who has a lot of stuff going on. So it's really cool to be able to have them come from that physical perspective and like give me all the details about what's going on and like in the certain muscle groups and what this area and this does this and like all these words. I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck that is. Like, what is that? I have to like look it up and I'm like, oh, okay, that's that muscle. Okay, cool. I'm like, he's really specific, but it's great because we speak the same language, just not using the same language. Like, we're both big fans of science and logic, and we know that it's not separate from logic. It's just it takes some time to catch up. That's why it goes in the right hemisphere of the brain, that knowing side, the intuitive side, the side that recognizes patterns, that is exponentially faster than the left hemisphere. That's the logical side, right? So the understanding side, the side that needs to put things in boxes. So it doesn't mean that it's separate. It's just, it's so much faster. It just takes some time for that stuff to catch up. And unfortunately, there's so much ego in that side of thinking that it's been a really tough process. There's, doctors are literally indoctrinated. They are literally programmed to have certain understandings and belief systems that they've inherited. Some of them, there's great doctors out there, but for the most part, I've definitely met way more shit doctors than I've met good ones. I've seen a lot of doctors. But yeah, so if you all are a doctor, or doctors that are open to these ideas, or have connections with anybody that is into studies like that, please let me know. Please let them know. I'm happy to do whatever it takes to assist, because I know it's a big part. I know that that's what I'm meant to do at some point. So if it comes up through synchronicity and through the design of the universe, great. So I'm mentioning it too. So let me know. Let them know. Well, let's get together and let's change this world, man. Let's help people understand it. All right, loving people, my beautiful beings, that beautiful family of beings. I'm gonna get off here. If you want to get a hold of me, you can do so through the link in my bio. You can send me a message directly there, or you can use my username at gmail.com. You can send me an email. I think you can actually even send me messages directly through TikTok now, so you can give that a shot if you have a question or anything like that, or if you're interested in a session and you don't really know what to get, or you're not sure if you need a session or not. Let me know. I also do pre-recorded transmissions, so if you're not quite ready for a session, that's something you can experiment with. They're very powerful. I've done a number of them, quite a few of them, and people have had some really profound results. So especially when they use it as I recommend. So when I deliver it, sometimes I have a regiment that is delivered with it, like saying, hey, this many times for this many days in a row at least, and then whenever you need. If you do it like that, it's going to really dive deep into what your intentions are, what needs to come through for you. So there's a sale on that, so I would jump on that while you can. I'm actually probably going to temporarily lower my one-on-ones, my pricing for one-on-ones, because it's just been a bit slow, and I think it's, I want to get some more people in there, and why not, right? So get some new people. And also, once you get a frequency upgrade with me, you get a significant discount on future frequency upgrades as well. So the first one is just a lot that goes into it in order to shift you to where we need to get you. So it can be pretty taxing, and it can take a little bit longer. Thank you, Ginger. But yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. What else? Anything else, Spirit, that I need to mention? I'm going to be doing more lives. Okay. They say I'm going to be doing more lives. I'm like, okay. So on lives, I will often, so Friday night, that's, okay, thanks guys. So Friday night is when I do these groups. So I do try to do this every Friday night. I always try to be on at 7:30 at some point, at least be on, so that's a consistent time, 7:30 Pacific time. But I may be on a little bit earlier, but yeah, either way. So we do group stuff just like this. We do group healings. We talk about all these things. It's for everybody. Sometimes I'll go live, and I will offer live transmissions, so we can do healing, activation, upgrades, whatever comes through for you. There's always healing involved, but you can do it live over TikTok live. So that's a good option too. So I would make sure you hit the bell on my profile. Make sure you're following, hit the bell on my profile, and make it to notify you when I go live. And that way you can jump on. Soon when I have my website launched, I'm gonna have it scheduled. So I'm gonna let people know ahead of time when I'm gonna be on lives as best as I can. And then you can order a transmission before I get on. So you know that it's available. And if for some reason you don't make it to the live, I'm still gonna go through the list, and I'll post it on YouTube when I'm done. And you can go through the timestamps and find when your transmission was, and it's going to be just as powerful when you play it back, and you can watch it back and blah 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 blah. Anyway, I'm just getting off, but please don't be shy. Please don't be shy. I love to answer questions. I love to talk clearly, because I said I was going to get off. Send me, if you have questions, hit me up. I'm always happy to answer questions if I have time. Just be a little patient with me if I don't get back right away, but feel free to hit me up. I don't have the answers, but I have my perspective, right? I have my perspectives, and I wish I would have had somebody that I could have done that with. I remember reaching out to quite a few people when I was trying to figure things out, and I was always left hanging. So I was like, I'm not going to be that guy. I want to be, because all I needed was like this much. I just needed this much. And I would have made so many puzzle pieces to get together. But I know it didn't for a good reason, but still, I'm here and I'm here to be a wisdom bridge in that way. All right, I'm done blabbing. Y'all have a good night. I appreciate you. I love you. I don't know if I'll do one soon or not. I'll hit the Blue Bodhi up again, and I'll see if she's down. She's had a long week. She's been doing her Reiki all week long. So we'll talk. We'll talk, and we'll see about that, and we'll post when we do. All right, I love y'all. Drink lots of water. Really important. If you can ground, practice some grounding. You can look up how to do some of that stuff on YouTube, or you can search my username and grounding. That can help. Nature's the best, but that'll help. If you have weird dreams tonight, don't be surprised. Sometimes some of the work continues on and activations can come through there if you see me in dream states. So on that, I love you, and I will see you on the astral. Get some good rest. I appreciate you. And I'll post this on YouTube afterwards too if you want to go find it. Okay? Fine, I'll post that tomorrow so you can go back and watch what you missed. And you can go deeper and deeper into the intentions. You can have the experience over and over. I love you. Bye. Pukani.